Fox 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Just reading up, old Deebo Samuel with a broken foot working out in Nashville. How about that? It's a Jones fracture. Am I supposed to know what that means?
I'm not sure what a Jones fracture is.
Apparently
I know
means,
what an Elizabeth Frank fracture is.
Yes, we don't. With all due respect to all Elizabeths, we don't like Elizabeth Frank.
No, we don't, man.
You don't, especially.
Dirtiest player in the game, as far as I'm concerned.
He should be able to be on the field early in the season, says Ian Rappaport, for Deebo Samuel. That could affect your fantasy football lineup for sure.
Well, you saw Brandon Brooks, too, a couple days ago.
Yeah, Achilles.
Out probably for the season.
Yeah, that's a big blow to the Eagles already.
All-pro guard, man. He's legit.
Yeah, big blow. Meanwhile, we're going to have a football season. Dr. Fauci is back. Feel like he disappeared for a while. Maybe those daily pressers, that might have been it. But now, not so sure about football unless it's in a bubble. So, come on, man. We were trending in the right direction. Nothing's trending in the right direction these days in the last week.
Yeah.
In that regard, though, baseball's trending in the right direction. Back and forth they go. I'm still so amazed, in a tight-lipped world, especially when it comes to sports, how readily available all these negotiations are in Major League Baseball. It's like the owners propose something, bam, we know what it is. The players come back, we know what it is. It doesn't feel like if the CBA is happening in football that we know exactly the details. We know all the details in Major League Baseball, according to the national writers. So that's been pretty wild for sure. We have a question today. What did you pick up or have you picked up in the pandemic? And be careful here. But I'm looking for like a hobby, looking for like what did you do that you never really thought you would do? I used examples like marshmallow baseball, like walking a lot, like reading a book maybe, home projects or cooking. There's got to be something. I mean, you have had more time on your hands or more time at least at home than you normally would. So you did something that I bet you didn't think you would do over the last couple of months, and maybe there's more to be done. I said a couple weeks ago, searing a steak changed my life.
The reverse sear.
The reverse sear.
Yep,
has
be specific
changed
with
my
it.
life.
Yeah.
And I will probably now cook a steak that way all the time.
Sure.
So
why not?
I mean, I don't know what you did on the pandemic, but my life got changed.
I had I had 3 goals for my when the pandemic started. I had 3 goals that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to run at least 5.5 miles, which I knocked out.
Like the whole time?
Yeah, just straight.
Oh, okay.
5.5 miles. I know it doesn't seem that great, but I mean, I want to get under the 10-minute range for each mile.
Okay.
So we're there. We're good with that.
5.5, not 5, not 6, 5.5.
5.5, correct. Well, it's easy because the way I kind of mathed it out really was, I could run for 50 minutes or I could go for 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So
all right.
As long as I got 5.5 and 60 minutes, I was happy with that.
And you did that?
Yeah, I did
Check
that.
the box.
I've been doing that now. So it's been good. My second goal was to do a 5-minute plank. And by 5-minute plank, I mean you can't cheat. You can't try to adjust a little bit. You have to maintain a plank for 5 minutes. Didn't get there. 4:45.
Well, listen, we have to be very careful to talk about the pandemic in past tense.
Sure.
I think it still exists.
Well, to be fair, I got 4:45.
Does it still exist? Are we still in? Is it by definition we're still in the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I think someone would say we're getting a second swing at
Second
it.
swing at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to this is kind of what do you get in school halfway through the quarter or semester?
Grades?
But it begins it's like a progress report. You know, you get kind of see where you're at. It begins with an M. I got to call Steph and ask her. But anyway.
Midterm?
There you go. Midterm report or something like that. There you go.
Okay.
I think that's what I was looking for.
Midterm? Did you go to school?
I was blanking on it.
Okay, I'm messing with you, man.
I was waiting for you guys to bail me out.
I think you're talking about midterm, yeah.
So anyway, this is Hopefully it's not the midterm.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah.
it's like 3/4 through or something, but it might be the midterm progress report of the pandemic.
See,
so you have time to get to the plank.
Well,
Why don't we
I
do
don't
that
know,
live on
man.
the show, by the way?
I don't know, though, because, like, the way I looked at it, like, I had to get it done before people could start going out in public again. People are in public, so I didn't really accomplish that goal. But it's all good, though, man, because now I try to do, like, because I'm in the gym now, so I can put, like, plates on my back and do planks that way. So I do them for shorter time with weight on my back. So there you go.
That was a humble brag.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, turn around.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you where I'm at right now, and how the 5-minute plank is probably not going to happen anytime soon. That's fine.
What was number 3?
Number 3 was get better at playing the guitar, which I learned Ziggy Stardust front to back 2 nights ago. So I'm pretty pumped up about that.
All right.
By David Bowie, because I'm sure you don't know that.
I figured based off our conversation earlier this week, it would have been like some record score in like Call of Duty
oh
or
no,
something.
man! Anytime I can play, I just have fun with it, man. I'm not concerned about the points or the prestige. I'm just worried about having fun, man. And I'm trying to keep the game pure. One little bonus one though, probably my biggest accomplishment so far for the pandemic, for the quarantine period. Reese's peanut butter cups. Brent, you like Reese's peanut butter cups?
I do.
Coos, you like Reese's peanut butter cups?
Yeah, they're all right.
All right, so here's where my mind was at. Take 2 Reese's peanut butter cups, put grape jelly in between them, and make a sandwich. You're welcome. Reese's peanut butter cups with grape jelly on top of them.
So you did it?
I did it. Oh, I've been doing it, sir. Been doing it.
Steph, if you're listening, put that into the onto the menu for Ty.
There you go. Just chalked up the calories and the sugar. But no, Reese's peanut butter cups with grape jelly, man. Let's go to
But
show
the
you where I was
chocolate
at.
doesn't mess it up?
It's like, is that sloppy? Is that a messy eat? I mean,
No, you just put it on top. You're good to go.
all right.
Yeah, but trust me, man. It's good stuff.
I would say that probably sounds good.
Yeah. Now, it's a little overkill with the sugar, but it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, I've got, I went and weighed in today.
sure.
And it wasn't good. Like, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
But the weigh-in was not good today.
No, well, it's about how you feel, man.
I am a big believer in that, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was pissed today. Like, I'm
what are you
not
talking about?
So, like, I've been as high as 211,
Okay.
right? Kind of before the pandemic. Then I got down to 206, but I am convinced the
Safety?
scale at the gym is where I weigh in, and it kind of spits out all this information, the mind-body stuff, or I think it is. Or what's that thing called?
Well, like the body mass index scale.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm convinced that thing is like 3-4 pounds heavier than my home scale anyway.
Sure.
Like it always is heavier.
Okay.
Well, so I'm a little prepared for that, but I was down to 206 the last time, feeling pretty good. You know? I've
Safety.
been drinking a little beverages at night. That's been more frequent than in the past.
Couple basic beverages, nothing wrong with that.
Even had a
Brent.
couple slices of pizza in the last week. I
Treat
feel like I'm
yourself.
picking up on the fried food a bit, but I'm kind
Treat
of on
yourself,
the.
man.
I've been okay.
Are you still fasting?
Yeah, still
then-
fasting.
hey, then
with an
don't-
occasional cheat here or there.
Then
But still,
then don't even worry about it, man.
so I'm I get last week. It was super humid, and so we walk a lot, Steph and I, and we're going to the gym a couple times a week, but we walk a lot. And I'm telling you, man, that it was so humid Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. Like I knew it was water weight, but I got on the scale and I'm down to like 195.
For sure.
I'm like, yeah, baby, keep
Feeling
the
good.
humidity coming.
6-pack Martino coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, then it starts creeping up a little bit as the week goes along. 196, 198, settles around one. I'm like, that's probably more realistic. I'm probably like 199.
Sure.
I get on this morning just to check the home scale before I go to the gym scale, and it's up to like 201.
Okay.
I get on the scale at the gym, and it's 209 and a half. How can there be
8
that
pounds.
much of a discrepancy?
Well, now let's go through a couple basic questions here. Do you weigh in with shoes on?
No.
Not at home or not at the gym?
I am usually naked at home,
Correct. Okay.
but I have just like a light shirt and light shorts and underwear on at the gym.
Are you sweating, though, at the gym?
No, it's before.
Before, okay.
It's weird.
Well, then, hey, you might want to talk to your gym
Now, even Steph
representative.
no, it might be our home scale. That's
Well,
a
it might
little
be the
off.
home scale, too.
But
yeah.
and Steph's like wavers like 3 pounds from the home scale.
Yeah.
But mine wavers like 10. Like it was so disappointing.
Dude, that could be a good deal wrecker right there, man. I can
not
change
getting
your
on
whole
this
day
thing again.
around. Yeah, I can change your whole day around.
So anyway, now I'm not eating sugar or
Well,
breaking away from the
I mean,
fast
here's what we
or
have to
having a
do.
beer for the next like 3. And by the way, I'm kind of getting out of town for I wouldn't call it vacation. It's baseball tournaments for the next couple of weeks. Not ideal to weigh in heavy before you're about to go away.
So here's what you do, man. You have to calibrate these scales. If you have a weight at home, put the weight on, see what it weighs, and then you do the same thing, obviously, at the gym and see which one's wrong.
I think
it would drive me crazy if I didn't know.
I think I found out today I'm a little bit mentally weaker than I thought I was because it hit me hard.
There it is.
But now I'm turning it around here a little bit. I'm just going to spit in adversity's face.
Okay.
And we're going to go get after it a little bit. So
is that what you accomplished during the quarantine period? Was you gained a couple pounds? What have you done,
all
man?
All over the place, man. I thought I was down. I was down 5. I for sure thought I'd be like 204, 203, even at worst, even on the heavy scale. Like, right? I did not anticipate this. I was not ready for this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like I've cheated that bad. Like, I don't feel that bad. I usually can tell if I've lost a pound or two, gained a pound or two.
Yep.
That shocked the system. It shocked the system today. So I got to get after it a little bit more. But that's not the only thing on the pandemic. We'll talk a little bit more. There's some things happen on the pandemic I never really thought I'd even do. You know, I mean, I always try to lose a little weight this time of year. So that's not really that new. I am walking way more than I normally would.
Yeah.
Because you're just home more. But there are some things. So that's the question today. What have you done on the pandemic? What have you picked up over the last couple of months?
I'll tell you what, another little bonus flex for myself here since we're breaking about myself right now. So last night, Brent, doing some meditating right before bed. And,
you do that?
And I have an epiphany.
What's that?
I remembered what my work email was. Because remember when I had to switch it over? And I had to get a new password, and I switched. Yeah. So I remembered last night, and boom, back in the work email. First time in about 5 months. Feels great.
Good for you.
It feels like I'm part of the team again.
It does.
Can't wait. Yeah. And now to be honest, you know what's really disappointing though. So obviously I'm excited. I'm like, wow, email's working again. Like this gorilla was taken off me. Now I can breathe, and now I'm like part of the team. And all of a sudden, I look at my emails. Nobody sent me anything. It was pointless. Just a bunch of chain emails.
So what did you do? Remember your password?
Yeah, I remembered it. Yeah, it ended up so the new password that I had for my work email ended up being my old password that I had back in college, but I had to put a capital letter in it. I forgot the capital letter, so that's what kind of threw me for a loop.
Meditation
does wonders, man. I'm telling you,
jogs your memory
for pointless stuff. That's sort of where my mind is. I can't get off of work. What's my work email? And I got it.
Welcome to my world for the last 20 years.
I can't wait, Brent.
What's going on at work? What is going on in the world of sports? Dr. Fauci, has he lost some believers? And do you believe this latest about the bubble, especially given the last week or even in here? You know, at times, the pandemic has been more alarming in other parts of the country. Well, all of a sudden, I think around here, people are feeling at least the number heightened. They're seeing it. They're seeing the percentages go up. Does that do anything to you mentally? Does it do anything for the football season? We've had these discussions about football, and it's worth at least bringing up what Dr. Fauci said about the football season. But it does appear like things are going along as planned. The NFL continuing to say that. We'll read their side of it and what they're going to do and how much will even change from now until we get to the start of the football season. We do have a couple guests on today, and speaking of what did you do during the pandemic, one guy may have gotten famous, one of our guests in the 5 o'clock hour. Another one has us reminiscing about the old Gator days. And speaking of the Florida Gators, they make a big move with one of their cheers today, the story behind that and what's going on. We'll take a timeout. We will kick it off with football season. Are you concerned? I also have a project for you today. Hope you saw the email.
I did.
Okay.
I glanced over it.
Can you deliver?
What was the project? I guess I didn't glance over it too hard. I don't know. Oh, no, the 5 players that I played? Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, you're acting like it's a big deal. I can name them like that. We're good.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can name top 5 players. I don't even have 5 friends, so I can't even name them. But top 5 players you played with.
The top 5 players that I played with. Yeah, and
we're totally stealing this from Maurice Jones, by the way.
And just so we're clear, are we talking like the best teammates I ever had, skill level? What's the criteria here?
I don't know. You can make it up.
Okay.
Let's do a list for each.
Funniest.
We've got 3
smartest.
hours.
Yeah. We have 3 hours.
Best friends, most likely to drive me to the airport. Okay, let's get it.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Lord knows I'm going to need it, Brent.
All right, we come back. We talk a little football to kick it off here on a Thursday of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Warmer and more humid today. Partly sunny skies, a scattered afternoon storm, highs in the upper 80s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Good morning, class. A quick head count. Tiffany.
Here.
Zach.
Yup.
Steven. Is he absent again?
For many kids, just getting to school feels like a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. That's where Communities in Schools comes in. A powerful community of caring adults, working with vulnerable kids in schools every day, helping them overcome the barriers that stand in the way of learning. Hunger, homelessness, health problems, and even emotional trauma. Communities in Schools. We're inside schools partnering with teachers and counselors, empowering at-risk kids by providing supportive relationships, doing whatever it takes to help them thrive in school and have brighter futures. Communities in Schools. We're in schools to help kids stay in school. See how we help all kids succeed at communitiesandschools.org.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Get ready for a riveting, action-packed thriller. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere, not knowing how they got there or why they've been chosen. They soon learn it's for one very specific purpose: the hunt. Can Crystal, played by Betty Gilpin, turn the tables on Athena, played by Hilary Swank, and her group of hunters? Don't miss The Hunt, along with other summer blockbusters. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Reliant Roofing, Solar, and Hurricane Shutters is pleased to announce its 4th annual Every Shingle Heart Initiative. This year, they will give a free roof to one healthcare worker or first responder in Northeast Florida, the individuals who've been making the ultimate sacrifice over the last several months during the COVID-19 pandemic. Reliant wants to return the favor to someone in these fields. To nominate someone, you can visit their website, reliantroofing.com/Every Shingle Heart. Nominations will open June 15th until July 31st. The recipient chosen will be announced on August 15th, 2020.
One-to-One Financial is Jacksonville's hometown credit union, and we've been helping people improve their lives and start businesses in this community for more than 85 years, longer than any other local institution. Like our name says, we work one-to-one with everyone, no matter their background, and we offer the best rates on loans and savings accounts, free debt counseling, plus no-cost financial planning. Learn more and join us at one-to-one-fcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
At Action News Jax, we tell a weather story that's really built just for you. Most of us have lives that take us out in the elements, for work, for play, or just getting from point A to point B. And that means you need to be ready to get through your day.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Our team of meteorologists didn't go to school just to read you temperatures. We do this so that the people that trust us know exactly what to expect today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Action News Jax First Alert Weather Team. We're here for severe.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Let's say you have ED, male impotence, or maybe you suffer from PE and can't satisfy your partner. If you have either or both of these embarrassing conditions, Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. Meet Dr. Rabinski, a specialist in men's health.
If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications designed just for you. There's no pain and no surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has patients lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. You'll see results on your first visit guaranteed, or your visit is free. And best of all, it's affordable.
For a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians, call 904-206-8105. We guarantee that you'll see results on your first visit, or there's no charge for your consult. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments, or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today, where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down, or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down, or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota/June offers for full details.
As the major nonprofit safety net organization in Nassau County, Barnabas Center has been on the front lines throughout the pandemic, providing critical assistance to those in need of food, financial assistance, medical and dental care, and mental health services. Barnabas thanks its many supporters that have given hope to thousands of struggling individuals and families. For information and to support Barnabas, visit barnabasnassau.org. That's barnabasnassau.org.
Call Zero Res. They are offering to clean and protect every surface in your home for 25% off. Also nominate a family in need, and Zero Res will clean the carpets in one home each day for absolutely free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere for one very specific purpose: The Hunt, starring Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax and ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
For me, no, it hasn't changed. I mean, I tell people all the time I was built for, the quarantine life, just because I don't really go outside anyways, other than, working out and throwing the football. But nah, I don't see it hindering any, progression or success that comes our way. I'll see all the guys pretty soon here. But as far as me, I've been grinding every day. Nothing's really changed for me except for, trying to stay safe and, keep my people safe. So.
Well, that's when sometimes athletes just kind of say what they say.
Yeah.
Because how can you say, listen, and maybe that's Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray might be right. And Kyler Murray then I appreciate, because I would say OTAs and all this other stuff I don't think has a ton of value, as much as people put on it as it does. But I also would think if you're a player, how you could say is really not that much impact having a virtual 3 months than it is, than it is having like an on-the-field stuff. There's certainly an impact. You are way better off if you're on the field practicing with your team, practicing with DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, you can go throw to DeAndre Hopkins, but you get my point. That's player speak a little bit, because there's definitely an impact.
No, and
to
listen,
some degree.
And he's definitely lying, right? Because Kyler Murray, in case you didn't notice, there's a lot of hype around you this year, man. And
yes, there is.
And you have to perform, right? For some of my betting purposes and for some bragging rights as well. So with that being said, I get it. You can work out with your wide receivers and you can do it without pads on, and that's effort. That's something. But I'm telling you, man, until you do it against a live opponent, until you do it in practice when it's 7-on-7, you just don't have the looks and you don't have the feel of it. And until that happens, you're not going to get ingrained into what you guys are trying to do as a football team.
Yeah, listen,
simple as that.
I didn't think we were going to go here, but it's a fair question. How much do you think, like, level of, we wonder, right? We say, hey, if in October, if the Jags start slow, or it's going to be an excuse built in for any team that does not play well in the beginning. And that is, well, they really missed April, May, and June, right? Yeah. And whether you think so or not, athletes actually love excuses to a degree because it's never their fault. Now, they also like to say no excuses, but at the end of the day, when they go back on things, they like to say, well, that wasn't my fault. That was the situation.
One of my favorite things when an athlete goes, yeah, man, I don't have any excuses, but then he lists excuses. Tale as old as time. Athletes always do that.
Good athletes.
Hey, I'm not going to make up any excuses here, but I didn't sleep good the last night, and my lips are chapped, and coach has been on me all week.
I ate a pizza
I've been fighting
in
a fever, and it's just,
They will have plenty of built-in excuses because here's the thing. I was told this. I swear I was told this by like a sports psychologist. It's never their fault. Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason. That's how they compartmentalize things, almost like a little kid. Mm-hmm. Like where it's never their fault because they don't want to admit it's their fault. It's not that because they don't want to take accountability for an athlete. It's more that they don't want to let that negative vibe settle into their mind.
Well, I agree with you here, but I think every sport's different. Like, I think more in football than even baseball, you have to take accountability, right? Because if you go out there, you mess up and you say, well, it's not my fault. Well, 10 other guys are going to tell you that it's your fault. But if you're a hitter and you're in a slump and you go 0 for 12, well, then it's like, yeah, man, something's just not feeling right, but I'm going to fix it. It's just you hitting. It's just you up at the plate by yourself. Now, yeah, maybe you let your teammates down a little bit who are trying to score and run position, but I think there's even more accountability that has to be done in football.
So anyway, Kyler Murray says that he doesn't think it will be that big a deal, big difference. We'll find out, right? And again, in a weird way, I am rooting, speaking of wanting to be right, I am rooting for him to be right. Because I have long said I think it's overdone what happens in April, May. Well, I shouldn't say April. April's the draft. Well, it's off-season conditioning, so April, May, and June. I think it's a little overdone. I think you could shrink down what is done. I'm not saying it's not important at all, but I think you could certainly shrink down. And instead, the NFL has expanded in a way because they want to stay relevant. They want to be in the public's mind. They want to turn a season into a 12-month, use the entire calendar type of thing. And I think that's more the motivation than, man, we really need this. But we'll find out. We'll find out if Kyler Murray's right. I just don't believe that these virtual meetings, maybe it's just in Jacksonville, I don't believe it. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are missing out on quite a bit with this young football team, with Gardner Minshew now at the helm, with new offensive coordinator Jay Gruden, with the idea that you're going to throw it around a little bit more, with the idea that you're going to mix 3-4 principles in a little bit more on defense. I think they're missing stuff being out on the field. Not to say they needed 2.5 months of it, but maybe a month of it wouldn't have hurt.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see. It's built-in excuses. What else is interesting to see is this unpredictable nature of what we've talked about really for 2.5 months. And we ride the roller coaster. I say it all the time. Every week we come in here like, well, I don't have a good feeling about it. Oh, a great feeling. We're going to have football. Well, Dr. Fauci, and this has become down a party line type of thing as well with Dr. Anthony Fauci, who was at when there were daily news conferences, he was giving a lot of the medical advice and where he saw this going. And it wasn't always right. And honest, I think most people would admit that. But a lot of this is educated guessing and taking science and using it to the best of the ability. I would say he has been right about some things, too. I'm not sure people want to admit that. But he says in an interview today that NFL will have to live in a bubble. Well, John Harbaugh has said, how are we going to do this? This is impossible with the protocols that you want to put in place. I think it was, who just came out today and said it? Somebody else just said it. Sean McVay just said, you can't social distance and play football and do the things we need to do. It's just not realistic. The NBA is going to the bubble method. Will the NFL do its own thing or adopt the bubble method upon the advice of physicians and doctors and scientists?
It's going to be a lot harder to adopt the bubble philosophy with an NFL team. We've been over this many times. It's a lot more staff. It's a lot more players. And listen, like, I'm a realist, man, okay? And I'm always going to be a realist over a sunshine and rainbows thing. And my stance has been pretty clear. I think that either the NFL has to, or we as a society have to look at, like, listen, how do we approach this COVID-19 thing if somebody has it? Because if you don't, dude, I mean, look at 23 players right now in Texas, and the Texas Longhorns football team are quarantined with COVID-19. 10 other students that came in contact with those players are also quarantined. Yep. That's a total of 33 students in the span of less than a month, okay, that are now quarantined with COVID-19. Now, are they belligerently sick? Probably not. No, I'm sure they're doing fine because they're young, and that's kind of what the age range goes to. But I'm just saying, if you mean to tell me that you don't think during a training camp that a team's going to come down with COVID-19 and at least 10 guys on a team aren't going to get it, then you're lying to yourself, and you're fooling yourself. No matter how thorough, no matter how much you put into it, it's going to happen, man, because it's happening. Like the samples right now, the sample sizes of college football teams who haven't even started a season yet are showing us this. They're in workouts right now. They're not even practicing yet. So with that being said, either they come up with a cure, either they find a way to be like, all right, well, if you have it, maybe you're okay. So be it. But I'm just saying the way it's set right now, Brent, I'm not that confident. And I haven't been.
And you also haven't been very confident that they can comply with the protocols that right now are in place. Now, Dr. Sills, it is, I think, the NFL doctor and scientist, if you will, in all this, has said, hey, the protocols and everything else are changing constantly. And so it's just we're going to continue to evolve it. And I think that's fair. I mean, it's very hard to sit here 60 days away from the first preseason game, some maybe 40 days or 45, I would say probably about 40 days away from reporting to camp and really know what exactly will be in place. I wouldn't even, we saw the whole NBA bubble and plan and all that's coming out. Well, that will evolve too probably over the next month. There might be new things that get added or taken away given the situation. What's going on in Orlando? What's going on in the country? What's the latest with the pandemic? I think they have to evolve and change. So it's very hard to predict if all these things. I think what we first saw from the NFL was this super cautious, if we did all this, we think we can play. Does it have to be that cautious? Does it even have to be more cautious? It's something we just can't answer right now.
And listen, and once again, we don't know everything, right? So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know essentially what exactly is going to happen if 10 players on a team get it in the NFL. We don't know those things yet because, like you said, there's still a lot of time to go. But I'm just saying, where we sit right now, where we have universities getting, 10 to 15 guys, that are sick right now, that are in quarantine, if that happens in the NFL, man, I don't know. I mean, I wish I had an answer. I wish I had the magic solution. I don't. But I'm just saying, if you expect the NFL to adapt to everything the NBA is doing and think it's going to work, you're fooling yourself.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is you can't just go into this thing keeping your fingers crossed. Mm-hmm. That's not a plausible idea. And one of the options is, I think, the practice squad. I saw something yesterday where there's some conversation about going to like 16 players. I think the fair question, would that be even enough? I think it's already going from 10 to 12. But remember, it used to be 7.
Yeah.
And I think it's going from 10 to 12, but it could get up to 16. I mean, you could make the case, is that even enough? Mm-hmm. Given the situation or what could happen in a worst-case scenario for some football teams. And you know what else, man? It could completely change the dynamic of someone's season. 2 weeks in the NFL, if you did have to be quarantined and you had fewer of your players out, I mean, it's like losing them to injury essentially for a couple of weeks. That can change the course of your season if it doesn't go well for some of the teams, especially in a league full of parity going into the 2020 season. Pretty wild stuff. When we come back, we have a doctor on, trainer on staff, stopping by, but also an author. Interesting discussions about the Florida Gators days. Not most recent, but kind of back in the day. It's on the way at Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Look and Wingo.
That's your first mistake is leaving read receipts on. Don't do that to yourself. Friends out there, reach out to the screen and receive this blessing right now. Turn your read receipts off and vice versa. You don't need that mental warfare in your life.
Where are read receipts?
I'm going to do the Men in Black thing right now. We're just going to completely erase what just happened there from your thought process. Read receipts aren't a real thing to you. Okay. And that goes for everyone listening. Cool. Remove it from your life.
Go Look and Wingo. Weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, I'm Phil Howard, and they call me Profit Manager here at Cox Media Group because my only focus is to deliver advertising and marketing results for the businesses I work with. Our 8 radio stations and extensive online marketing tools, which include partnerships with Facebook and Google, have done just that for many local businesses. I'm here for you and to help you grow strategically. Call me at 451-2872. That's 451-2872. I want to be your profit manager.
Oh, it's hot in Jacksonville. Summer is here. Hotter weather means your family should be drinking more water. Stay hydrated, but make sure you do it in a healthy way. Take care of your family by having clean, purified water. That's what we have in our house. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. And right now, you can get an incredible offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Call CGC at 904-552-1242. CGC will test your tap water so you can better understand what's in your water. That's important. It's free, and there is no obligation to buy anything. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. And while you're on the website, CGC wants your help to recognize frontline workers. They've been doing a great job. Nominate a worker, and they might get a free RO system. cgcwater.com, serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
The following message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
As prescription costs rise, many Medicare beneficiaries are having difficulty keeping up. The Florida Department of Elder Affairs SHINE program may be able to help. SHINE counselors can guide you to money-saving programs, including one that may help pay your Medicare Part D costs. For more information, call 1-800-963-5337 or go to floridashine.org.
Hi, I'm Nathan with Gordon Chevy in Orange Park with some good news. We've been having a lot of fun helping our customers get what they want, and we know it's only going to get better. We've got a great selection of new and used cars, and get this, Chevy has eased the requirement for 0% financing. So come on in and take advantage of some great offers during Gordon's Hot Summer event. We were just voted the #1 new and used car dealer for a second year in a row. And come see us, come see why. Gordon Chevy on the money-saving end of Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park. GordonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Don't miss the Gun Show this weekend at the Ramona Pavilion featuring guns, knives, ammo, and more. There'll be concealed weapons classes twice each day. Doors open at 9 a.m. at the Ramona Pavilion on Ramona Boulevard, Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, and trade. See you at the Gun Show.
Hi, I'm Stuart Weber of Action News Jax with Take Steps Plus Virtual, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation's June 20th fundraiser supporting 3 million Americans. You can register at cctakesteps.org/Jacksonville 2020.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
It's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, the king of bada bing. This is Action Sports Jax. Bang!
Hey, welcome back on a Thursday, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We want to know, what have you picked up during the pandemic? What have you done for fun, a hobby, something you never thought you'd do, fix something around the house, whatever it might be. let us know. 904-362-9901, *690, or also on all the social media platforms, on Twitter, at Brent A.S. Jax. Also on Facebook and YouTube and even Twitch. Just look up ESPN 690 Jax. Now, you could have written a book during the pandemic. There's been enough time. And what if you titled that book Just Another Smelly Foot?
Well, unless you got some kind of strange infatuation with feet, or you are used to maybe taping ankles, let's say, well, then it maybe sounds a little better.
I was going to say, so it's either Rex Ryan or an athletic trainer.
Oh, wow. That's a soundbite, Brent. Yeah. That's a soundbite. I hope that guy never comes on the show now, because I have to bring that up to him.
I think he'd be fine with it.
He's cool. I think he understands it.
I think this goes more of the athletic training way.
Yeah.
As we welcome Jim Mackey into the show. Now, he did not write the book over the pandemic. He actually wrote the book over the last couple of decades, but published the book last year. And Jim, what a project and what a sensational name. Catchy.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. And yes, I said if I'd ever write a book, because I'd seen so many feet and ankles and smelly feet, that I would entitle the book by that name. So, but it's really a history of athletic training and Gatorade at the University of Florida. So it's all encompassing.
Here's the deal. Jim Mackey with us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. He did pen that book, but he's also been in the athletic training world for a long, long time. Back with the Florida Gators from 72 through 88 as a student and staff athletic trainer, and with Bowles and Trinity Christian is where I most notably have seen Jim over the years as en route to 7 state championships for Verlin Dormady and the Conquerors. And now working with the Jacksonville Sports Medicine Program. We'll get into that in just a little bit because they're doing some really cool things in Duval County. The worst smelling foot you ever taped up? I mean, is there one that sticks out, or do you not want to name names?
I don't want to name names, but he was a great lineman who actually lived here for a number of years before he passed away just a few years back. But most amazing big set of feet on a lineman I'd ever seen, full of calluses and toenails and everything else. So, and those were the days before rubber gloves too, you know.
Wow, how about that? By the way, you did not hesitate. Like, you knew that right away.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty memorable.
Impressionable.
Hey, Jim, so, I spent a lot of time with athletic trainers. I spent 5 years in the NFL, so I got my fair share of tape jobs, let's just say. And what people don't realize that are kind of on the outside looking in is the importance of the perfect ankle tape job, right? Because you tape ankles every single day, and when you're first starting out, it's almost like a Ford Pinto. It's beat up, it looks bad. But as you progress and as you get your skills better, well, then it's like a Rolls Royce, and all of a sudden everyone's trying to depend on you to tape their ankles. How long did it take you to perfect the tape job of taping an ankle?
Well, in our profession, they call it an art and science. And one little interesting story was when I was a student at Lee High School, the original Leonard Skinnard asked me to start taping some ankles. And one of the other students taught me as well. And so I started in high school back before the days of under wrap, and it was taped directly to the skin. And then, of course, I spent many years with Chris Patrick, who is a Hall of Fame athletic trainer at the University of Florida. Been there over 40 years. And so it takes a while, but it's an art as well as a science.
Is there like a pride in taping an ankle? Because could you put a stopwatch on it?
Oh, you could, but main thing, you don't want wrinkles because you don't want people coming back with blisters and complaints and all those other things too. So you want to win friends, not diminish them too.
Absolutely. With the Gators from 72 to 88, wow, you saw a lot of stuff happen in the sports world from a sports-only standpoint, from an athlete-only standpoint, whether it's Vernon Maxwell or someone else. Who was like most memorable from, wow, man, I got to be up close and watch that?
Oh, there were so many great athletes in all sports. But, the Brantley brothers, I left as Emmitt Smith was coming in, but working with Vernon Maxwell and the days when basketball was getting relevant, not like they are now and what Billy Donovan and others have done there, but just great athletes, great coaches, great people, because it's the relationships you build that are the most meaningful things there.
Absolutely. Jim Mackey with us. He wrote a book called Just Another Smelly Foot that was published last year, just within the last year. You can check it out, by the way, on Amazon, Amazon.com, just $15. And all the proceeds from book sales will support former UF athletes with medical, financial challenges, and athletic training education. So that's very cool as you kind of document some of your time and what's gone on in Gainesville from an athletic training standpoint. But in conjunction with that and this book and so much from the University of Florida gets related to Gatorade. And you actually have a couple of chapters in here from Dr. Robert Cade's memoirs. What were those conversations like? What were those memoirs like? What's the story behind Gatorade that we might not know already?
Well, let's say Dr. Cade, well, let me back up. Gatorade, it was great to help sponsor this book so we can give these proceeds to back to the people. Dr. Cade was a very interesting gentleman. I was able to meet his wife a few years ago, and she gave me a whole copy of his memoirs. And so we put two of the more relevant chapters about Gatorade in there, but he would stop by football practice and show us his latest inventions. He was just a great philanthropist, musician, professor. But the things about Gatorade, I wasn't in on the initial years, which is around 65, 66. But by the time I got there in 71, it was in the quart glass bottles. And so we were still using lemonade and salt, and water to hydrate the athletes. And to give a little sweetness, saltiness, and that, replace some of the things that they would lose. And then Gatorade developed powder. But the tragic, funny thing, Stokely Van Camp, the bean people, they made the cans. And anyway, when we got some of the early cans, they were these heavy steel cans, and actually the syrupy liquid Gatorade at that time would actually eat through some of the cans. And so that was a little scary, but we took care of the athletes to make sure they were safe. But it was a very good learning experience, and Gatorade evolved over the year, and now it's the leading sport beverage in the world, So
Jim,
a lot of good things happened out of that. And a lot of things that helped with hydration and health came out of Gatorade too. So that was good, and now it's a big performance product as well.
Jim, anytime, you bring a new thing to the table, sometimes, there's some athletes out there that are stubborn and have kind of done things their own way for a while. I mean, did you kind of have to convince the guys to drink the Gatorade? I mean, from a flavor standpoint, I assume it's not like it was like it is now. We have 20 different flavors. I mean, like you said, you had, I think it was salt and lemon or whatever. So, like, how was the reaction to, like, those first taste tests of the Gatorade?
Well, the early taste test that I was given information to, one, Coach Graves, the head football coach, he wouldn't let them try it out on the varsity. They could only the freshman or JV team could drink the Gatorade, and they said it tasted pretty awful. And so you got to read the book because I don't want to say what he said on the air, but it tasted awful. Mrs. Cade actually was the one that came up with adding the lemon to it, and it was literally processed in a bathtub or in these big beakers. There's a picture of it on the front of the book, and the Dr. Cade would pour it out. So anyway, it was not well received at the beginning, but they built trust over time. And I think, it goes back to in the Orange Bowl one year in the late 60s, they beat Georgia Tech, and they weren't expected to beat Georgia Tech. And Bobby Dodd, the actual coach, said, it was that Gatorade stuff you guys had because Georgia Tech was worn out in the fourth quarter, but the Gators were doing fine because they were rehydrating themselves properly with the Gatorade. So they won, and that was a big beginning of the story.
There's wild stories about it, about the Gatorade and the birth of it, and obviously the influence of it at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Jim Mackey with us currently now is working with the Jacksonville Sports Medicine Program here in Jacksonville, but he wrote this book, Just Another Smelly Foot, and you can get it on Amazon.com. And the cool part about this, it's only $15, but a majority of the proceeds from book sales will support former UF athletes with medical, financial challenges and athletic training education, and supported by Gatorade as well. Just one more curiosity about this, Jim. Did Did you have this idea? I mean, you obviously have been taking notes on this stuff, and you've been looking into it for the last 2 decades to write. Did you go to Gatorade, or did they have an interest in helping out, today's athletic trainers? How was that marriage formed?
Well, Gatorade, since it was born at the University of Florida, being from UF, helped greatly. We just have had some great friends from Gatorade. I want to give a shout out to Protocol Orthopedics here in Jacksonville, who was very supportive of our effort too. But the Gatorade, one of the Gatorade reps to me said, it's a no-brainer to ask Gatorade to support a project like this, and they were very, very helpful in that, and very, very willing. So that was pretty incredible to me that they were willing to do that.
I think if you're a Gator fan, and if you were a student at the University of Florida, an alum, whatever it might be, I think this would be a pretty cool read for you, just another smelly foot. But I don't think you have to be, because I think Gatorade's the birth of it all is fascinating. Yeah. And obviously, if you're interested in the athletic training world, this documents much of that as well. I mean, the book is not just about Gatorade. So pretty cool stuff with Jim Mackey. I did want to ask you about what else you guys have. You've really been you spearheaded and helped with others as well in Duval County, this Project 17, putting athletic trainers in the sports programs in Duval County high schools. Can you give us an update on that? How's that going? How has that project been over the last few years?
Sure. Let me respond back real quick to what you just said. I've had volunteer and Georgia Bulldog fans enjoy the book. And as I say, the 2 chapters on Dr. Tate are well worth the price of the book. So anyway, Project 17 has gone great. It's placing certified athletic trainers in the 17 Duval County public schools. All 17 schools now have certified athletic trainers. Our last 2 in the Project 17 realm are in their schools right now. And hopefully next year they will be full-time Duval County employees. But it's just such a boom. We've tried to do this for over 30-something years, and Bob Sefcik and JSNP, along with Wolfson and Brooks and the Jaguar Foundation and others, have been so instrumental in supporting this, the city of Jacksonville and the NFL, to make this happen. And because sadly, we've had 2 deaths already in this last week in our country. The kids back in conditioning and that. We don't know why that is, but having a certified athletic trainer there to monitor things and to help prevent, prepare, and to watch out for these kids and to respond to an emergency should it even happen. And so a lot of strides have been made in this program. Of course, new laws have been enacted with concussions and with heat and hydration and cardiac arrest and emergency action plan. So all this is being implemented by Project 17 and the Duval County Public Schools and in keeping these almost 16,000 athletes, in our county safe. So we're grateful for that. And again, Bob has done a tremendous work in mobilizing this. Tammy Talley has been awesome. And Larry Rozier is one of the former members of the Duval County Public Schools.
Jim, one last question that I had for you, man. I've always been kind of curious about athletic trainers. So whether you're in high school, you're in college, or you're in the pros, I mean, coming off an injury, it's a serious thing, right? Because you can't play the sport that you love. There's the recovery time. You're watching your friends go out there and have fun, and you're kind of stuck on the training table. I guess my question to you is, what percentage of you is really like a psychologist too? And like, how do you approach that to dealing with athletes who come off injuries?
Oh, my goodness. Well, a lot of that, one of our mantras is it doesn't matter how much people don't need to know how much they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you've got to invest in your athletes, in knowing them as a person. Some of these kids in high school, this is the first time they've ever been injured. Their parents are dealing with these things, and an athletic trainer can help guide them through that process. As well. So there's a lot of psychology involved in it. But just trying to, a lot of athletic trainers out there are great servant leaders. They're there not to make a lot of money, but to invest in helping other people and keeping them safe and advocating for whatever they need in regards to safety.
Jim Mackey with us, wrote the book Just Another Smelly Foot about some of the experiences at the University of Florida. And as we wrap this up, Jim, I did want to bring up, because I think, it's very timely, and we didn't plan on this, but part of the book that you wrote has to do with the integration at the University of Florida in athletics, and also many other storylines. But what was that like at that time? And obviously we are still trying to advance and make enhancements in today's world. But what was it like back in the early 70s?
Well, Coach Dickey did a great job. I'm sure he caught criticism for that at Tennessee and at Florida. But in 1968, the first African-American athlete came to Florida. He was a track member, and then I think Willie Jackson and Leonard George were the first two African-American football players. Leonard George actually scored the first touchdown in Tuscaloosa by a black athlete. And so it was a very interesting time. It helped. Everybody I met at UF was just great. And the African-American athletes taught me so much, became great friends. I just had lunch with Willie Jackson and Coach Dickey and some other athletes from UF just before the COVID shutdown came. And it's just always good to be with people. And, the culture was different, and there were a lot of rednecks at the time at Florida. But to see how they got along, see what they learned from each other, see the conversations they had with each other, you're eating, sleeping, working out, practicing, going to class together. Were there problems? Yes. But at the same time, there were great memories, great relationships formed through all that. So, it was a turbulent time, but it was a great time. And people really treated each other with great respect. It was a great experience for me as a human being, and for something I'll be forever grateful for.
Yeah, it was a monumental time in Gainesville back then. It's a monumental time in our country right now still, some almost 50 years later. Jim Mackey, the book's called Just Another Smelly Foot, Amazon.com, $15. Majority of the proceeds from the book sales, again, will support UF athletes with medical, financial challenges, and athletic training education. Good stuff, man. Thanks for jumping in. It was good catching up with you.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Y'all stay safe.
All right, you too. That's Jim Mackey. When he told me a little bit about the book, he mentioned the Gatorade stuff, but I'll also just read you a line, because there's so much more to it. It's about his experience in the athletic training world and what you kind of see at UF. But he mentioned the integration of athletics, the drug culture as well, which is interesting. We didn't get into evolution of sports medicine, adventures and things that most don't hear about when you are working in sports medicine. So really cool book for a lot of the proceeds go into a good thing as well with the support of Gatorade. That's Jim Mackey. He's a really cool guy, good man here in the Jacksonville area. Congratulations on the book, and go check it out at Amazon.com. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Gonna give me some of that going on,
Kuz.
It's unreal.
That's the most impressive thing Kuz has ever done.
Oh, without a doubt.
Here on the show.
That was very nice.
It's the best use of star 690 ever.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car, or stream them. ESPN690.com.
If you don't have SafeTouch monitoring, there's a good chance your system is getting monitored from someone's home. Yes, work from home has come to the security industry, but not at SafeTouch Security. At SafeTouch, that is totally unacceptable and doesn't meet UL requirements. At SafeTouch Security, our monitoring center is committed to maintaining our high standards. The only guaranteed response in the alarm industry with an incredible 8-second average. And our two-way communicator provides the very fastest response from the emergency authorities for burglary, medical, and fire. And the SafeTouch crash and smash technology detects crime before it enters the property. Our halo of protection and SafeTouch cameras report crime before it happens many times. And every SafeTouch security system is custom designed for you and comes with our exclusive SafeTouch parts and labor agreement at no charge. SafeTouch security systems have a guaranteed response and are installed by real professionals. Know you and your family are safe and protected the right way. Go to safetouch.com right now for more information. SafeTouch, doing what others can't for over 35 years. State license number EF0000233. We all know Beard's Diamonds has the best price and best selection, but the perks that come after the sale set Beard's Diamonds light years ahead of the competition. Beard's offers unprecedented lifetime warranty on all items, no matter the purchase price. 100% free. Ring sizing? Free. Rhodium plating? Free. Appraisal? Free. Stone replacement?
It's all free. When you choose Beards, that makes us want to go over and beyond for you.
Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
It's time for some straight talk. Even though most live sports are on hold now, big wireless companies haven't stopped playing games. They're always trying to lock you into overpriced contracts. With Straight Talk Wireless, there are no contracts. It runs on America's best network, same as the big carriers, but you save up to 50%. $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. You might miss sports, but don't play games, you'll lose. Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no compromise.
Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Ready to take on that painting project? Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94 June 19th through 30th. With 30% off our exceptional paints and stains, you can give some color love to your bathroom, living room, or every room in your home. Shop in store or order online for curbside pickup. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Me personally, like I said, I don't really like to speak on what's going to take place. I just like to go out there and perform. The work's being put in by me, and I know a lot of other guys. So, right, when we touch the field, it's on us to go prove it. It's on us to go do it. There's really not much to talk about, and that's how I feel about things. The media loves to talk and loves to spark stuff up, but at the end of the day, if we don't go perform, then it's on us. If we do go perform, then it's on us. So that's what we got to do.
I think Cruz is trolling me with all the Kyler Murray sound. But listen, it's not that I don't like Kyler Murray. Everybody has put me in a corner on Kyler Murray because they're raving about him like the next Patrick Mahomes. Instead, let's see it. I just saw another stat CBS Sports put out. Gardner Minshew, the only quarterback to have, I think it was over 20 touchdowns, under 10 picks, and over 230 yards average. Only quarterback. Didn't see Kyler Murray in there.
Very cool.
Did not see Kyler Murray.
That's awesome. Hey, stop lying.
MVP candidate.
Stop lying to the audience,
16-1
though,
odds.
Stop lying to the audience. This has nothing to do with Kyler Murray. This has everything to do with your infatuation. And I say infatuation with all due respect, which means no respect. This has to do with your infatuation with Gardner Minshew, okay? Because as soon as I brought up Kyler Murray that one day, and it was Kyler Murray versus Gardner Minshew, now we're here. It's a sickness. I think you should get some help. I think you should talk to somebody. Just saying.
Maybe.
You don't want to see him make it. You just want to see Gardner Minshew make it.
there's really not much to talk about, and that's how I feel about things.
Yeah.
The media loves to talk and loves to spark stuff up, but at the end of the day, if we don't go perform, then it's on us. If we do go perform, then it's on us. So that's what we got to do.
It's gonna be Brent Martineau's new ringtone right there. I can't wait.
It should be my new ringtone. I don't care what anybody's saying. Is basically what he said. I mean, listen, Kyler Murray might be great, but can we at least see? Can we at least just see?
That's not what we do, Brent. That's not our job.
Yeah.
That's not our job.
I still have a hard time. Find me a player that put up the numbers Kyler Murray put up in his rookie season and then became this hey, going to win the MVP, going to be the great next young quarterback.
Second year? You talking about?
After what he did. He did pedestrian stuff. It was pedestrian.
Lamar Jackson?
He was not getting that kind of love, man, going into last year.
Lamar Jackson wasn't?
He wasn't.
Okay.
We saw somewhere in the remember when we did the quarterback rankings the other last week or something?
Yeah.
We saw Lamar Jackson was the 30th.
Yeah, but
30th.
Brent, that was not a Bill Sims. Don't listen to that dude. Don't
was that
buy
Chris
into
Sims?
Or Chris Sims, I mean, yeah. Don't buy into that what that guy's got to say sometimes, okay? Because he has Gardner Minshew. He has your boy at what right now?
Somebody, hey, do me a favor. Look
What do
this
you
up,
got?
okay?
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be answered right this moment, but look this up.
Good answer right
Was
now.
Lamar Jackson 16-1 or higher to win the MVP last year before the season started?
Okay, so
that's a hard thing to find. So 2019,
we need 2019 MVP
odds. You got to go back to find an article though, prior to the season.
Yeah. So week 1 NFL MVP odds.
Yeah, sure, that's fine
if I can find it. Okay.
So you look at that.
That's some hard homework. I'll try to see what I can do here.
Yeah. I need you to pay attention to this too, because it's a big story out of the University of Florida.
Okay.
And this is a big story. Think about the traditions in college football. And there are many of them. And it's what makes college football, some of the traditions, some of the chants, some of the songs, the fight songs, the alma mater songs, all of it, right? All around the country. You don't get that as much in high school. I didn't know my alma mater and all that stuff in high school. I think I was supposed to, but I didn't. You get that so much more in college, and mostly because of college football. You don't get it because of college basketball. You don't get it really because of college baseball or anything else. You get it because of football. Well, in the last few weeks, with so many things changing, Confederate flag in NASCAR, Confederate statues coming down, maybe high school names being changed here in the Jacksonville area, Lee High School. I'm just trying to localize a little bit, but we all know the scope of what has gone on with protests and the Black Lives Matter movement and the attention brought to some of the things that, quite frankly, we didn't even know about at one time, or maybe not know enough about. And that's where listening and learning and being educated about some of these things comes into play. So much so the NFL will acknowledge Juneteenth as a holiday, and the offices will be closed. The Jaguars will close their offices tomorrow. I think a lot of businesses are doing the same and following suit. So these are all examples. Well, a couple weeks ago, the song "The Eyes of Texas" became a target as well as say, hey, that shouldn't be played in Austin. Well, now Florida, and I don't think there was an outcry for this, but the president in an internal review said, hey, we're no longer allowing Gator Bait, the cheer, at sporting events. And the quote here is because of historic racist imagery associated with the phrase. And honestly, that forced me to look up, and I think a lot of people to look up, okay, well, what's the connotation here?
Correct.
And
well, first of all, thanks for actually doing some research. They're not just saying, well, this is dumb. I don't know why they're doing this. At least you looked up why we're talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing for me, too. There is no emotional or sentimental attachment to that for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a Gator. I understand that a lot of people are Florida Gators, and this is what they grew up with, and they might not understand the connotation. They might not, but that means football, man. That means Saturday afternoon, and that's what it does for a lot of folks, right? But the reason why internally they're not going to acknowledge it anymore is, according to this ESPN article, and Andrea Adelson did the article, and she actually references the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia, which is at Ferris State University. She says the term alligator bait was also used as a racial slur against African Americans in the late 1800s and early 20th century. So it dates back to that. And so the University of Florida says, hey, we're not going to do that. We're going to eliminate that and come up with something different. Is the Eyes of Texas, gator bait, these things that have become almost institutional at these colleges and on Saturday afternoons, is it good we're going back and looking at the history of them, what they could mean, the connotations? Is it too much? Yeah. Is it fair to even say that in today's climate? What is too much? I mean, let's get rid of anything that would reference slavery or African Americans in a negative light, any slurs. Where do you come down on it? You can speak to it better than I can. As a black man, what do you think about things like this?
So once again, I saw the article obviously, and then was it the president that came out and said like we don't really? It was a weird verbiage that he used, where it was like we're not really sure where it comes from, but we know that it offends people or something like that. That's kind of what he. And obviously I'm paraphrasing here, but that's kind of what he got at. So I'm like, well, then I don't understand.
Proactive in this way.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't really understand that. And then obviously doing some research behind it, and it's like, oof, yeah, okay. So, where do I stand on it? So I'm not a Florida Gators fan, okay? And I didn't grow up with the culture. And it's such a slippery slope here, Brennan. It's such a fine line because I don't know what percentage of society, I don't know what percentage of the students on campus who are black, I don't know what percentage of the faculty there who are black think that, that's a derogatory term, that sparks imagery of violence, obviously geared towards young black children, babies, if you will. So I don't know the percentages. And maybe it's not right to say, well, if only 3% are offended, well, then what's the big deal? If 10% are offended, well, then maybe you should do something. I don't know where we draw the line, but I'll say this. And once again, I don't know, Brent. I don't know who's offended and who's not offended. When I read it, I'm not going to lie, really messed up. Didn't want to read that, didn't have to read that today and have a good day about it. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
If you read the history.
It's
not related to Florida.
Not related to Florida.
But related to the
probably
term.
Even the chant. But the phrase gator bait, yeah. So after reading it, I'm like, oof, man, that's not good. And you know what? I can see both sides. I can see a side that says, you know what, we grew up with this song. It's one of our favorite experiences of going to the swamp and cheering like that. That's tradition. How are you going to take away tradition? And I can see the other side where if you're a black student on campus and this gets brought to light, it's like, well, this is kind of awkward.
It's kind of uncomfortable,
even though when you sing the song, it's not geared towards that. Even though when you sing the song, people aren't thinking about alligators eating, black children. But that's what it's tied to.
That's
now.
a connotation, yeah.
Someone has tied that to that. So I don't have the answer for you. I wish I really did, but I'll say this much. Obviously I have a lot of Murray State pride, and I love my alma mater. I probably talk about them way too much on the show and gearing towards our audience. Nobody really cares. But I love Murray State University and I love the Murray State Racers. If for some reason our fight song, or even like the name Racers, it's not obviously racist, but if it was racist and if it offended a group of people, then you know what, man? Then change it. Because I guess I try to do my best to make sure people are not comfortable. Like for instance, when you're dealing, the term has changed over the years, but and obviously I know one, but so the term little person. Right. Well, a long time ago, it was the M word. Okay. And I'm not even going to say it, but it starts with an M. Let's just say it like that. Okay. And
even in wrestling.
Right. And they still use it. And, I would say 10 years ago, everyone used that word. It was on TV. It was in movies. They still use it in wrestling. Like, it was just what you said. It was on cartoons, I would say. So maybe 4 years ago, whatever it was, all of a sudden I was like, hey, man, you can't say that anymore. And I wasn't the guy that was going to be like, well, why can't you say it? I've been saying it since high school. I can't say it now. Why you can't say it is because a group of those people are offended by that term and they don't like it. That's all I had to hear. And I'm like, okay, then I won't use it anymore. Simple as that. Not a big deal, man. Because I'm not going to, I have no problem changing that up a little bit just to make sure some people are comfortable. And I get it. Once again, where's the line? Where do we draw the line, right? Well,
again, it's really hard for us. We're not attached to the university.
Exactly.
We're not Gator fans. Yeah. So, we don't have that emotional attachment. I get that side of it.
Sure.
I do, especially since it's not like if you knew what it was and you knew the reference point to the late 1800s and the early 20th century and you applauded that, well, that's different. But I would say nobody knew.
Sure.
I don't think anybody knew.
Exactly. And I'll say this. I mean, and I get it right now in terms of, the racial injustice, and the Black Lives Matter. Listen, I get right now it's the trending topic.
Yeah.
And I get right now it's the hot button issue, and then there's a lot of black things being brought to light, but I would make an argument that I'm sure there's a lot more people offended out there right now at the Washington Redskins because they've been on record how many years now saying to change that name, to change that logo, than there are people at the Swamp singing the song Gator Bait.
Yeah, and that is an interesting part. I don't want to leave this just for a moment because a Gator fan passed along this article. It's on Gatorsports.com, and Pat Dooley actually wrote this. And I'll just read a little bit of it. But he mentions Lawrence Wright, who played in the mid-'90s for the Gators.
Okay.
And he is kind of the one that helped make it famous. Mm-hmm. He said, if you ain't a Gator, you Gator bait, baby.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it came to life a bit. Now, Wright, who is black, says the Gator Nation is a culture too. It's not about what happened way back in the past. How about our culture? Me and the president need to sit down and talk about this. Mm-hmm. This is what he tells Pat Dooley in this article. He says, I'm not going for it. I created something for us. It's a college football thing. It's not a racist thing. It's about us, the Gator Nation, and I'm black. A powerful rebuttal to it.
Sure.
And almost,
I mean...
Yeah, but not everybody's going to agree, right?
Exactly. This is where we're at right now.
I would say this, though, and I don't know. This is hard. This is putting people in difficult positions at times to where do you draw the line, right? Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? What is what? Quite frankly, which sounds like nothing, but you're kind of saying what is what. And I said it, I kind of say this sometimes, say, hey, if you hesitate, don't go.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you hesitate, if you're driving and you hesitate to go through that green light that's about to turn yellow, don't go.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what this is a little bit. If it makes you pause and say, there's a reference. It's been brought to our attention. It's references, African Americans in a bad light.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think most people right now, given the last month and given the fact that change has been sparked and things are going to continue to change, I think most people are going to say, we're not going forward with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you hesitate, we're going to side on this side of the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
And I would only say this, though. I wonder, because it's an interesting article that got brought to our attention about Lawrence Wright in the mid-'90s, who really helped evolve Gator Bait. Why wouldn't they maybe discuss with him? Why, or some other folks that have been in the program or big players in the program, is at least have conversations?
It's not where, conversations are great, Brent, but this is just like, the optics are just like on Twitter, where one guy is saying one thing and he's like, well, hey, I created this thing and that's not where it came from. That's cool. And that's one person's opinion. But you have other students out there that I'm sure are like, well, hey, I don't want to go to school if this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
There is no perfect way to go about this, man. And it's the frustrating thing.
But I think you always say communication. We always say communication.
No, for sure.
So what's wrong with, before releasing this stuff, what's wrong with having a conversation with Lawrence Wright? What's wrong with having a conversation with Percy Harvin? What's wrong with having a conversation with Emmitt Smith? What's wrong? Find your African-American Florida Gators, influential or not. I mean, however, I don't know how you find your group of
But let's be fair, though, Brent, but they're all invested, though, because they're former Gator football players. Of course they grew up with that song. Of course they're going to support it because they played underneath those lights. So of course they're going to have their school spirit and their school pride. I'm just saying, if there's students on campus that have an issue with it, well, that's different then. And once again, I wish I had the answer for everybody. I wish I could say, you know what, if 5% of people are offended, then it's okay.
Yeah, what's the formula?
But there's not, man. So I don't know how many people are offended or not. I didn't know what it meant until I looked it up.
Well, here's the thing. If I think this is just reality. Right now in America, if there is one person offended, it's too many.
Sure.
And I'm, by the way, not here to say that's wrong. I'm just saying that's I think, the new reality right now. And again, I have no problem with this, but I'm not a Florida Gator. Like, there's not an ounce of me that's a Florida Gator. Like, I have no emotional attachment whatsoever to the university, to the athletic programs. It's going to be these kind of stories, these kind of moments, these kind of changes, the pivots, if you will, with some of the traditional things that happened, especially here in the South. I think are going to be contentious at times. And we've already seen it here. If you followed this story this afternoon, this news out of Florida with the term Gator bait has been in very mixed reviews.
Yeah, and I get it, man. Tradition's a slippery slope to me because everyone grows up with it. It's ingrained in you, and it's hard to change. I mean, this is where the frustration's coming from, I think, from a lot of Gators fans, right? Because it's not like, well, when we chant Gator bait, that gives us an advantage of winning. No, I mean, it's a chant. It's a song. Like, it's a cheer.
Band gets into it. The people get into it. The crowd comes to life, right?
And I get it. And listen, every university has one of those, Brent. Okay?
Absolutely.
But
multiple.
Exactly. But it's just... It's the people that are the alumni. It's the former players that are like, listen, I grew up with this. Okay, I went to games and cheered this, and I never once thought that, of babies getting eaten by alligators. It never once crossed my mind. I was trying to cheer my football team. So I get that, man. I absolutely understand that point. I guess just where I'm coming from, and I'm trying to put it like where I can relate to it. And like I said, I mean, if the Racers logo, if the way Racers fight song, if the Wisconsin Badgers canceled the jump around, which is a very famous thing in college football, because for whatever reason, when the House of Pain sings that song, there's some derogatory language that people got offended by. I don't know, man. I guess I'll just have to move on and be like, you know what? The times are changing, and it is what it is. I'm still going to be a fan. And that's how I look at it. But I understand not everybody shares my outlook.
Well, the other thing that's interesting here, we have seen, and this is strong. Listen, Tom Petty, strong ties, obviously, to Gainesville.
Yeah.
But they have just put in a new tradition in the last couple of years, singing at the end of the third quarter. That's become huge.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
And it's only taken like 2 years. So it also is, I think, evidence that things can change, and things can change quickly, and we adopt new traditions, if you will. And I think people are all on board with that. Nice Bob Dylan reference, by the way. Times are changing.
I see you, man. I hope you can pick up on that one. Brett with the Bob Dylan poll. Good for you, man.
I had to think twice, but I was like, man, that would be, I know it's not, but wouldn't have been so great right there if I was transitioning to Tom Petty, if it was really a Petty song.
It's a Petty song. No, Bob Dylan, man.
Nah, it's not him.
Props to you for knowing that, though. I'm impressed.
All right, so listen, I think this brings up something that you mentioned, and Kuz mentioned it earlier, actually, in a break. Will there be this new resurgence for the Washington Redskins, which obviously is a Native American connotation, which for a long time, really decades, has been a battle, has been protested, peacefully protested, but really to no avail. And to some places they have been. Some other colleges have changed their names, But, I mean, listen, even the Atlanta Braves have had protests for years and years and years. But I think the Washington Redskins has really been paramount, has been kind of the front pages of that battle, but really hasn't changed much. We're seeing so much change in our country right now. Would this be the time for the Redskins nickname to change?
Listen, let's call it like it is right now, Brent. It's Black Lives Matter right now, okay? And as messed up as that sounds, listen, I think it's extremely messed up, the fact that Native American people out there have been trying to campaign against the Redskins name for a long time now. And if you think about it, if you do the research on it, the term redskin is a derogatory term. I'm not sure if actually me saying it, to tell you the truth. I'm sure someone just got offended at me saying it. That's how messed up it is. And they've been campaigning, for a while. But to be fair, and let's call it like it is once again, I don't necessarily see a lot of black people supporting them. I don't see a lot of white people supporting the Native Americans saying, hey, let's change the Redskins' name. I don't. All I see is one race of people trying to fight that battle. And they've lost, obviously, because the Redskins are still called the Redskins. So I guess it's a little ironic, though. And listen, I'm not trying to compare the things right now between Native Americans and black people. I'm not trying to start that war at all, man. We're all on the same team. Don't get it twisted. But we obviously see everybody starting to rally around Black Lives Matter, right? And it doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your creed. Everyone's on board. It doesn't matter your skin color. And they're all doing it for one cause. I wonder when the dust settles a little bit and the smoke clears out is, when things hopefully do change one day, we can take a look at Native Americans and see what they're all about and seeing, listen, the term Redskin, it's a derogatory term. Let's go ahead and have their backs like they had our backs, maybe.
Here's why I wonder if you get a little momentum, okay? I think the black community has been asking for change on a lot of things for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
People are really listening right now.
Correct.
We are seeing things change. We are seeing things change on a daily basis right before our eyes. Are we seeing debate about some of that change? Yes, we are. But the bottom line is we are seeing change. Then that's why I wonder, and I understand the Washington Redskins nickname doesn't necessarily have to do anything with Black Lives Matter movement, but in a sense, to me, the Black Lives Matter movement is while it's about Black lives and Black community, it also is about change in
it's about right versus wrong.
And right versus wrong. You put it better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder if people see this as an opportunity for the Washington Redskins to say, hey, you know what? Look at what's changing around you.
Yeah.
Look what's changing all over. Mm-hmm. Look at high schools are changing. Confederate statues are coming down. Confederate flags are not flying at NASCAR races.
Mm-hmm.
Gators are changing gator bait.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes of Texas might not be a song. I mean, look at what's going on. Daniel Snyder, Washington Redskins. This might be the time. They might, by the way, have more of an opening. The window might be open to do that. Maybe more than ever before, given what else is going on in our country right now. I don't know that. I'm just curious about it, if that could be the case.
It's a very great point, Brent, because what do we always talk about now on this show in terms of receipts and learning our history, right? People are getting educated every single day. People are learning, that new term, new slangs, they're not appropriate. And people learn that some kind of traditions have to go to the wayside in order to evolve, in order to prosper as a society. Obviously, the Washington Redskins are a very storied franchise, and we're at that point right now. And once again, take away the Native American connotations, take away the Black Lives Matter. It's about being right or wrong. And you can go and ask yourself, do you think the Washington Redskins and that team name and that logo, is it right or wrong? And it's as simple as that. And I would say, you know what? At the end of the day, if there's a group of people out there, and a big group of people, not just a couple, okay, not just a university full, we're talking all around the country that are offended by it, then maybe it's time.
I've always found it pretty interesting, and maybe now it brings it to light even more. I'll just say this about the Redskins in particular, about the Washington Redskins organization. Think about one of their most popular players of all time. Think about a man that is now in their organization and has been in the front office is Doug Williams, right? And he is one of the proud Washington Redskins players. Obviously a black player, black quarterback. Now you have a minority head coach in Ron Rivera. It can't fall on deaf ears in Washington. And I know it's been a conversation for a long time, but I wonder if some of these things all adding up, plus looking around their own building, brings to light, you know what, this is the time to do it. So we'll see.
Especially with the NFL too, right? Where they seem to be on the player's side now and everything like that, and they're starting to come around. Well,
I think that's an interesting part you just said. I didn't think about it until you just mentioned it. There are not many, if any, Native American players.
Yeah.
And so it's not a movement. What's being seen, at least in the NFL, is this movement by players, by black players.
Yeah.
You don't have that. That's probably for the Native Americans that have protested that for years and years and decades, they have not had that on their side.
That's a good point.
They have not had the Native American players. There have been some Native American players.
Sure.
But not a lot of
Native
American players.
You don't see a lot of outrage, obviously, in NFL locker rooms.
No.
Yeah.
So, and that might be part of the equation.
Sure.
But also, right, what have we said from the start in the last few weeks to a month? Right or wrong?
Right or wrong.
And if it offends people, what's the right thing to do?
There you go.
So it certainly could be a time for change.
Deep conversations every single day with you, Brent Martin. I'll tell you what, man.
Every day.
Yep.
This is a big one, by the way, in Gainesville. Don't lose sight of that.
Without
Again,
a doubt.
it's a huge conversation in Gainesville, around the country for Florida Gator fans. I think they wrestle with this one quite a bit.
What do you foresee happening?
Oh, I mean, they've said what's happening. So, I mean,
but I'm saying, do you see conversations and maybe minds changed or not?
I think Florida Gator. What could you have, like, hey, we like Lawrence Wright coming out and saying, hey, we got to have these conversations. This shouldn't be stopped. I don't know if there's going back. This isn't like a seesaw here. I don't think this is going back. And I also would say I think Florida Gator fan would also, might not like it, but I'm trying to think, like, what could they do to say I don't like it? And they could start their own chant. But you got to remember with this chant, especially, I believe, and again, I don't raise the pom-poms for the orange and blue, but I mean, the band is a part of this. I mean, you get the whole place right. It's not like 4 people are going to start it and then all of a sudden. I don't think. Will we see that at a game? Heck, we might not even have fans at a game. So it's something to watch. But I think this will kind of just say, hey, all right, we're not doing that. Let's come up with a new tradition during that spot. And I think that's what Florida Gator fans will have to do, according to the university. Hey, what's the latest on Major League Baseball? The back and forth continues, and it's been very public. We seem to know a lot of the details. We'll give you the latest on MLB's return, if it's happening. Is it still trending in the right direction? It's next on ESPN 690. Plus, what have you picked up in the pandemic? It's time to share some responses as well.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Humidity returns today along with warmer temperatures and a scattered afternoon storm. Partly sunny otherwise. Highs in the upper 80s, dropping into the mid to upper 60s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center. Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota /June offers for full details.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Boss, check out this headline in the Crooks R Us newsletter. Big Blue Alarm now allowing contact center employees to work from home.
Whoa, all of them?
Not quite. Says 88% of Big Blue employees are working from home.
Wonder if their customers know that the people monitoring their alarm are probably sitting at the kitchen table in their underwear.
Hey, maybe that's one of the reasons Big Blue doesn't have a guaranteed response.
That is an excellent point. Too bad Safe Touch Security isn't more like Big Blue Alarm.
Wishful thinking, boss. Listen to this. Safe Touch Security still leads the way with the fastest response time in the industry. Boss, how do they do it?
Doesn't matter. We still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Do that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
If you have a specific medical problem, you call a specialist. Broken leg? Call an orthopedist. Cataracts? Call an ophthalmologist. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our doctors specialize in ED and PE. Listen to Dr. Rubinski, a renowned expert in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain or surgery. In fact, you'll see results in the office guaranteed or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting for 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, treatments are affordable.
Men. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Prime Men's Medical Center for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians. Call 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105.
Everyone's loving what Diamonds Direct is doing right now. It's the best stimulus plan ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase with no money down. It's Diamonds Direct's way of helping you make your money go further as we all look forward to better days. Just pick any item in Diamonds Direct showcases. Get the amazing value price you know we're known for. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. That means a $6,000 designer ring is yours for just $100 a month. This makes everything more affordable at a time when we need it most. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, designer fashion jewelry. Take the price, divide by 60, and that's your payment. You can even finance the sales tax. Celebrate summer, celebrate life, celebrate love with Diamonds Direct's most spectacular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest with nothing down. Now for a limited time on approved credit. Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals. Delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hi, I'm Nathan from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park with some good news. We've been having a lot of fun helping our customers get the cars they want, and we know it's only going to get better. Get this, Chevy has eased the requirements for 0% financing. So if you hesitated last month, now's the time to come on in and take advantage of some great offers during Gordon's Hot Summer event. We were just voted the #1 new and used car dealer for the 2nd year in a row. Come and see why. Gordon Chevy on the money-saving end of Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park or GordonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Unlike other jewelry stores, at Beard's Diamonds, nobody is paid on commission.
We don't believe in the commission structure.
That's Beard's Diamonds' second generation Ben Lupo.
We don't want our employees picking and choosing who they help or judging which customer is going to spend the most. That's not what we're about. We are not just about selling. We are about helping. If you deliver a quality product, listen to the consumer's needs, and help them make the best decision, then what do you have to sell? The diamond will speak for itself.
Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center and at beardsdiamonds.com.
Struggling to find something awesome for Dad this Father's Day? Let ESPN 690 help. We are giving away a $150 gift card to Fogo de Chao. For your chance to win, go to ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
16 teams potentially, if that's where the final number lands on, and I think that would be especially appropriate for this year to widen the playoff field, given the fact that it would be a shortened season. You could still play it within the current framework that we have, although that first round, how'd you like to be like a number one seed if you're the Yankees, you're the Dodgers, and I'm speculating on this part. I'm assuming that first set of games is going to be like a best of three. So it would be like number one seed against the number 8 seed, potentially playing 3 games in a 4-game window before you move on to the next round.
That's Buster Olney.
Hear that, Brent? The Yankees
are out.
No, I'm saying there must be a big favorite. I didn't hear the Red Sox that conversation. Sorry to hear it.
Red Sox not probably in the conversation of being a favorite, but maybe because of the shortened season, we can sneak in as an underdog.
Now we're talking. How are the Red Sox supposed to be this year? All right?
No. Not
really?
Very good.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, they lost Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Sale, I think, is he out? I'm pretty sure he had Tommy John.
Okay.
That's how much I've been paying attention.
All those walks, I hear you.
But, yeah, they're not supposed to be great. Like, they were, I think, in the power rankings, and I had to, like, double take this, but I think they were, like, 17th.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is really weird,
you
know? And they still have plenty of money on their books. But Price left, too, with the Mookie Betts deal. So, yeah, they are not supposed to be very good. I've got to be honest with you.
Condolences.
Let's just say the Red Sox, if they were to somehow do really well and win in a 60-game season.
By the way, on CBS Sports came out 2 days ago, the Red Sox power rankings, 26.
26?
26.
Like, they almost should get 10 spots ahead just for the name the Red Sox.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is rating 30 aces. Like, ranking the aces by team. Sorry, man. I'm way off. My bad. Okay.
Anyway, get hold of yourself over there.
I'm just trying to talk about the power rankings, man. Hey, CBS, stop quick baiting me.
You got caught.
I did.
But anyway, what I was saying is if Major League Baseball if the Red Sox say surprise people and they do well and they go to the play, I've got to be honest with you, in a 60-game season, I'm not really sure how fired up I'd be. Like, I know this is an asterisk season. So I'm not really sure how, like, genuinely good it feels for any team, but especially a team that would kind of come out of the blue. Now, ask me again in, like, September, and it's fun to watch them, and they're doing well, and they're surprising people, almost playing like a little Cinderella road. Sure. How can the Red Sox play Cinderella? But, yeah, it kind of feels that way. Well, that would be fun. And I don't know where our mentalities will be in September and October after a 60-game baseball season or 65 or 70 or whatever we fall on. It'll be interesting as a fan of the sport or a fan of your team how you feel. Like, did we forget that 100 games weren't played? Does it matter that 100 games weren't played? It'll be a little bit of an emotion that we'll probably know once we get there.
Sure.
Here's the latest from Jeff Passan. This is a couple hours old. I'm really, Jeff, I'm getting used to, every couple of minutes an update.
Yeah.
These 2-hour time frames going by. I want more. The Major League Baseball Players Association has finalized a proposal to MLB for a season in the neighborhood of 70 games. MLB's proposal is for 70 games. Sources tell ESPN includes a split of playoff revenues. Now we're getting into the dollars. While the league is unlikely to accept this proposal, of course, it's close enough for optimism there will be a season, whether it's via a deal or MLB setting a shorter schedule. Here's some other details. 70-game season, July 19th to September 30th. $50 million in playoff bonuses. 50-50 split of new postseason TV revenues in 2021. I don't really know what all that means. It sounds like the players are asking for more than they usually get. Forgiveness of salary advance for Tier 1 through 3 players. Again, don't even quite understand it. I think this is the biggest one that casual fans will. Universal DH. We're going toward a DH.
That's good.
And I think the DH from 20 to 21, I'm such a baseball traditionalist. I really don't mind the difference in
more
leagues.
offense, baby. Let's go.
But I also don't mind the DH. If I'm really digging deep and being honest with myself, the DH makes so much sense.
Thank you.
It does.
Welcome, Brent. Welcome to new school baseball. It's great to have you.
But I'll say this. This is one of my hesitations. The National League, to manage in the National League, to play in the National League, involves so much more strategy because of the pitcher being in their lineup. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I think a manager should have to manage. We don't manage anymore. We babysit, we take care of egos, and we read whatever the analytics guy sent us.
Sure.
That's what we do in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So it's one more step of taking away managing, but I think it's probably the logical conclusion in Major League Baseball. Mutual waiver of grievance as well. That's a big thing for both sides. All right, within the last hour, this is what came out for MLB PA Communications. Holy cow, can you make the print a little bigger? Here it is. Here's the quote from Tony Clark, who is the executive director of the MLBPA. That's the Players Association. In my discussions with Rob in Arizona, Rob Manfred, the commissioner, we explored a potential pro-rata framework, but I made clear repeatedly in that meeting and after it that there were a number of significant issues with what he proposed, in particular the number of games. It is unequivocally false to suggest that any tentative agreement or other agreement was reached in that meeting. In fact, in conversations within the last 24 hours, Rob invited a counter-proposal for more games that he would take back to the owners. We submitted that counter-proposal today. Here is what I don't understand about this. Why is this playing out in the public? Like, I'm kind of glad it is. Thank you for letting us know what's going on. It's fun watching you guys' inability.
It's only frustrating me, Brent. I wish they wouldn't.
To get a deal done.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I feel like I'm watching The Bachelor. Is somebody going to get a rose?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I seriously feel like I'm watching a late-night TV show. Why is this stuff going back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this does not happen in our world. Again, the NFL and the NFLPA, they might say they met.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you're not getting in-depth tweets of like, well, he said this, and they said this,
and then
he said this.
every day from the commissioner, from the...
What are you doing?
I don't get what they're doing.
What are y'all doing?
Like, I don't get why they're making it all our business. And again, in my business, I'm a fan that they're making it our business. I just don't understand it.
But here's the thing, though. And listen, I mean, this game has been around for how long? Okay? There's people making a lot of money, Brent, that are advisors, that are supposed to come in and say, hey, is airing our dirty laundry, is it going to help the game or is it going to hurt the game? Like, where's the accountability?
Well, I guess what the only reasoning that it makes sense to make it public is for posturing, is for public perception, is for public belief. But let me ask you this.
Good luck with that.
Has it helped anything?
No.
Like, has the fact that initially we all called the players rich, spoiled brats for not wanting to play, then we said, you know what? Those players have a point. If you ask me to take 70% of my salary away while you're still making millions and billions, they might have a point. Mm-hmm. Screw you, owners. That's what we said. Then we were like, just a couple weeks, what is Rob Manfred doing? Now he's the GOAT of this thing, and I don't mean capital letters. And now I'm just back to blaming both sides. Because so my point in all that, we've ridden the roller coaster over a month. And as a baseball fan, which I am, nobody's winning. Like, I'm not picking a side. So airing your dirty laundry and the dirty negotiations is not helping in the posturing phase.
You ever see the movie Mean Girls?
I've seen parts of it. Yeah, I know. I know what movie you're talking about, actually.
Manfred is literally Regina George writing it in her burn book, you know, and writing all this crap. This and no, man. You aren't an adolescent teenage girl. You're the owner. You're the commissioner of a professional league. So let's start acting like it. Let's not get on Twitter and be petty. Listen, once again, good for us. We can talk about it. But I'll be honest with you, Brent. The more stuff that comes out and then the more pettiness that I see, the more I'm just frustrated with the game of baseball. I really am. Like, do you once again, it comes down to caring. Do you guys even care or not? If you care, you know what? I don't care about caring. Just lie to me then. Don't even say anything and just lie to me and say, yeah, there's positive conversations going. That's all I need to hear. But when I see all this dirty laundry, it's frustrating, man, because it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, it's great to get that perspective from you, and I think a lot of fans feel this way too. I don't get there. Like, I understand. Listen, man, there's a dirty side to business, and maybe I just accept that. Maybe I turn my other cheek on it. Maybe I don't put my feet in the ground as much as I should. Maybe I'm even a little bit naive to it. I like the sport of baseball. I say this all the time. I don't need baseball right now as much as everybody else says they need it. I got my kids to play. I'm heading to watch them play down in Southwest Florida for the next week. That's good for me. Now, I'd love to watch baseball games. We like to watch baseball games as a family. We learn watching games. It's cool to see Jose Altuve play and others, Mookie Betts and the rest of them. And I also believe that everybody gets a little overdramatic. I've said that many times. Like, oh, my gosh, you're missing out on this next generation of fans because you're not playing the first 2 weeks of July. I don't buy it. Oh, my gosh, nobody's ever going to come back to the sports like 94 or 1981 all over again. Don't buy it. I don't think that's true. Are you damaging some of the optics of it?
Well,
or do you turn off some fans?
Hold on, though, Brent. I mean, let's be honest here, though. Is the NFL getting more popular?
Here's my view on the NFL.
Okay.
Is it getting more popular?
Yeah.
No. It's reached a saturation point in the United States. It can't get any more popular.
Okay, but it's still the most popular sport.
Oh, without question.
Is the NBA getting more popular?
NBA now is getting more popular because of the globalization of the sport.
Is the MLB getting
and
more?
Actually more popular maybe in the States than ever before.
Is the MLB getting more popular?
No, but it's not because of this. It's because they're morons in the way they try to transcend their sport.
It doesn't matter how we got here, though. We got here, didn't we? You know what I'm saying?
We did, but my point is this isn't doing more to that or less to that. Again, my argument continues to be that even if we played on the 4th of July and fireworks and hot dogs and hamburgers, they probably still wouldn't put Mike Trout in prime time and tell kids to watch him or in the afternoon or whatever. They'd stick the Angels on some regional network, and so only people in Anaheim know who Mike Trout is.
Yeah.
And that's like sensationalizing it.
No, I get you.
But my point is they've done a horrific job of marketing stars. Like their NBA has done a great job over the years.
Correct.
NFL does a great job of it as well.
Yes.
And parity helps in the NFL as well. There's a bunch of reasons why the NFL is king. Even golf has done a better job of Major League Baseball of marketing its stars. And, of course, Tiger has carried that mantle, but others are following suit at times. It's just – I just don't think they're smart enough. I don't think it has anything to do with them bickering back and forth why baseball is where it is from a national and international perception.
I get what you're saying here. See, I guess where my frustration is more than anything right now, it's the fact that they're not playing because they have an opportunity to be really the only show in town. Now, yes, you have NASCAR and the UFC and golf and everything, but like you mentioned it, Trout doesn't get a lot of love. I agree with you. I mean, he's the best player in baseball, doesn't get a lot of love. I absolutely agree with you.
Most underrated athlete, in my opinion, in the world.
Yeah, fair enough. But, I just think of the next generation, Brent, and maybe you have a better idea than I do because your kids are obviously at that age now, right? I mean, you go to traveling baseball, you know what's going on. But I also know how I came up as a kid and how I gravitated towards certain sports and everything. And with baseball, it was about the highlight. Well, if you look at social media right now, this is the social media era where all you need is one grand slam, all you need is one 500-foot home run, and you're a star. All you need is to rock your chain on the outside of your jersey, and you're a star. You don't need ESPN to push it. You don't necessarily need all these commercials from the MLB network. What you need is just to showcase your stars and give them the platform. And right now, you're not doing that. So that's where my frustration comes from. Take, for instance, and once again, I'm a homer, I don't care. John Morant. John Morant right now is a big name in the NBA, okay? He was taken second overall. Big name. You think people are actually watching the Memphis Grizzlies play basketball? I haven't. But you see him on Twitter. You see him on the ESPN, top 10 plays all the time. So, that's how the brand grows. And I understand the MLB can do more. But the biggest thing that they can do right now is get their guys back on the field in a society that is starved for sports.
Yeah, I get it. And I'll just reiterate one more point on this topic. And I know it's probably, if you listen to the show a bunch, which I hope you do, and I thank you for doing that, I know I've probably said this too much in the last couple of weeks now, but I do believe it. And I said it to Jason Fitz the other day, and I didn't really expand on it more. This cry for Major League Baseball to come back in July 4th so they could have the stage to themselves Hello, July is on the calendar every freaking year. And you know what? They have the calendar to themselves, essentially. Yeah, there's NASCAR. Yeah, there's golf. But there's not football. There's not NBA at that time. In fact, it's the only month there really isn't a football headline. They have that month to themselves, and they kind of just do with it as they do. It's more systemic is a word that's very popular right now, but it's more of a systemic problem than it is a 2020 problem in terms of the grand picture of baseball, I guess is my point. And it's how they market it. It's how they're getting it in front of kids, all those things. And I think their instant reaction all the time to those is, let's change the rules. Let's change the rules. Let's make it faster. Let's do all this stuff. Well, how about telling us and putting Mike Trout and Bryce Harper and Kershaw and all these guys all out in front of us all the time? How about branding them like every other sport does?
But let me ask you this question, though, Brent. And I know we're getting ready to go to break here, but I love this conversation we're having because we're talking about baseball. We're talking about the marketability of it, if you will. You bring up Mike Trout. I think we're both in agreement Mike Trout is the best baseball player right now going. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Is that a fair comment? Okay, exactly. How much of it, though, falls on Mike Trout and his personality to kind of promote himself? Because I bring up a couple arguments. Ronald Acuna, guy's the next big thing. You know why? Because he's rocking those chains. I know who Ronald Acuna is. I don't care about the Braves, but I know who that guy is. Okay? And, for instance, Jalen Ramsey, right? Jalen Ramsey was a big star in the entire country, not just in Jacksonville. His marketability when he played in Jacksonville was firing on all cylinders. Everybody knew who Jalen Ramsey was. Why? Because his personality, right? Because his flashy demeanor. Guy shows up in a Brinks truck.
He's a look-at-me guy.
Correct. Stephon Gilmore last year, best corner in the league, I would say. Okay? All-pro. On one of the best defenses of all time in New England Patriots. I don't see a lot of Stephon Gilmore jerseys out there.
True.
Okay? I don't see a lot of Stephon Gilmores on TV like, oh, Patriots defense, Stephon Gilmore. No. I see more about Jalen Ramsey getting a new contract. So how much of it falls on the athlete, especially in the game of baseball, where it's a little slower, obviously, it's a little more mundane to try to up their brand and up their name getting out there?
I think it's a very fair point. You don't always have the guys that are willing to do it and these personalities.
Yeah.
But let me counter with this. How big of a personality do you really think Patrick Mahomes is? He's a quiet guy.
Yes, correct.
He's not, hey, look at me. Look at me. Look, I'm Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
My dad played baseball. You know, I'm the greatest thing going. He is not that.
I'll give it to you.
Who's made them that? Kansas City's made them that. And NFL networks have made them that. ESPN has made him that. Sunday afternoons have made him that. Primetime. The Shield has made him that.
But his skill set has made him that too. People were all about Joe Flacco for a while. Joe Flacco is as plain as vanilla. But my point is when you have Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, you're throwing touchdowns. People love to watch touchdowns. If you're Mike Trout, he's not leading the league in home runs, Brent. All right?
He's leading the league in almost everything, though.
But it's not home runs. It's not the highlights,
Patrick
Brent.
Mahomes on a highlight reel.
Brent, people will tune in to watch the touchdowns, but the five-tool guy, it doesn't translate well to the TV.
I get it because we love football more in our society, but the point is not the same. Mike Trout is Patrick Mahomes. He is. It's just baseball doesn't do a good enough job like the NFL does.
It's just that Patrick Mahomes leads the league in touchdowns and Mike Trout doesn't lead the league in home runs. Don't go to break. Stop that music. We're coming back right now.
No, we're not.
Okay. Sorry.
More on the pandemic and what you picked up. And I'll beat up Boston in the break.
Well, it is your last day here for a while, so go ahead and get it in while you can.
It's next on ESPN 690.
From First Take to your radio.
Everybody is out because of the coronavirus. All the conditions that are restrictive to one is restrictive to all. And if somebody was smart enough to be dedicated during this time, more so than somebody else, those were probably going to be the champions any damn way. Get over it.
First Take, your take from 1 to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Boss, check out this headline in the Crooks R Us newsletter. Big Blue Alarm now allowing contact center employees to work from home.
Whoa, all of them?
Not quite. Says 88% of Big Blue employees are working from home.
Wonder if their customers know that the people monitoring their alarm are probably sitting at the kitchen table in their underwear.
Hey, maybe that's one of the reasons Big Blue doesn't have a guaranteed response.
That is an excellent point. Too bad Safe Touch Security isn't more like Big Blue Alarm.
Wishful thinking, boss. Listen to this. Safe Touch Security still leads the way with the fastest response time in the industry. Boss, how do they do it?
Doesn't matter. we still gotta stick to the Crooks of Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Do that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get into Arlington today, where you can drive away in a new Toyota Corolla for $199 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. That's a pre-owned Corolla for $199 down with 0 down or no payments until 2021. How about a Toyota Camry for $249 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021? That's a pre-owned Camry for $249 a month with nothing down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota/June offers for full details.
Oh, it's hot in Jacksonville. Summer is here. Hotter weather means your family should be drinking more water. Stay hydrated, but make sure you do it in a healthy way. Take care of your family by having clean, purified water. That's what we have in our house. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. And right now, you can get an incredible offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Call CGC at 904-552-1242. CGC will test your tap water so you can better understand what's in your water. That's important. It's free, and there is no obligation to buy anything. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. And while you're on the website, CGC wants your help to recognize frontline workers. They've been doing a great job. Nominate a worker, and they might get a free RO system. cgcwater.com, serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Call Zero Res. They are offering to clean and protect every surface in your home for 25% off. Also nominate a family in need, and Zero Res will clean the carpets in one home each day for absolutely free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
The American Heart Association is working to help reduce the impact of COVID-19. Serious symptoms like those associated with a heart attack or stroke are still considered urgent. Call 911 at the first sign of a heart attack, stroke, or cardiac arrest to save lives. Visit heart.org for more information.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
Could your car use a spring cleaning? Now's the time to stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new. Like Mother's California Gold Wash and Wax, just $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. That's a $6 savings. Or online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I can't speak for every team and say that they have a responsibility to do it. I can't say that. I just know that he's 3 years removed. Teams probably need to see where he's at. If those 3 years helped him or hurt him. That's 3 years of not getting hit. And he was a pretty good quarterback, bouncing back from an injury, before that. So, I don't want to say the teams have a responsibility to do that, but it would really be nice to see him back in the league.
That is Anthony Lynn, LA Chargers head coach, talking about Colin Kaepernick, and certainly has said in the last couple of days this week that he will be on the workout list. And I think a lot of teams are going to have him on the workout list. We had a conversation earlier this week. Who will get a workout first, Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick? And I think we kind of both said we thought Kaepernick might win that race to a workout for an NFL team. That doesn't mean a job, doesn't mean a starting job, all those things. But it certainly is interesting. And the Colin Kaepernick conversation will continue. And I think we're finding out coaches and teams and players and media is more open to having that discussion right now, which certainly isn't a bad thing, just like any other player. If they could help a football team out. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Thursday. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Maurice Jones-Drew had this. There was an article about him. I guess he was asked about his top 5 players, like Fred Taylor and Justin Blackmon on the list that he played with. Yeah. So I said, hey, you know what? We're stealing that.
Yep. Straight up just stealing it.
Just absolutely stealing.
Zuckerberg style.
I mean, I think Mojo would be okay with that.
No, he's cool, man. He's part of the show. Come on now. We're all good.
So I said, okay, Austin. Who you got?
Well, once again, and I can't stress this enough, because you know me, Brent. I'm a people pleaser. So I have to know the criteria of what you mean, please.
I think my interpretation of what he was doing was just like best talents, wow guys. I mean, Justin Blackmon, the way he caught the ball in practices and in games and what he was able to do and probably what he was dealing with at the same time while he was able to do it. And Fred Taylor, of course, he learned from Fred. So, that I put it in that context.
I'm going to put it
funniest guy.
Sure.
I don't think so. I'm not looking for that.
I'm going to put it in 2 categories. So when you say guys that I played with, well, technically, I didn't play with a lot of offensive guys, obviously, because they're on the other side of the ball, right? So playing on the same field with would have been all my defensive brothers.
That's
so
fine.
Do you want defensive guys, or do you just want most talented teammates that I think I played with?
Listen, I mean, you played with Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
So
spoiler alert, he's on my top 5 players if we're going by talent alone.
Well, that's why. I mean, I think it should go by that, because even if you're Mojo and you're on offense, you play against defensive guys and you have this whoa, that guy's unbelievable. If you're a defensive guy, you're like, whoa, that guy's unbelievable.
Okay, awesome then. So, yep.
It's not like you had to cover Calvin Johnson. No. But you still knew on film and in practice, like, holy cow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so... But let's go my top 5 players then that I thought were the most talented. And there's going to be a couple honorable mentions as well because I just couldn't stay off them. But number 1, Calvin Johnson, hands down. Future Hall of Famer. And listen, Brent, I always tell this story. In terms of the NFL, I spent 5 years playing in it, okay? And very rarely, if you're on defense, do you ever come to the sidelines and you get up and watch the offense roll, right? Because usually you're sucking down oxygen. You have your position coaches chewing you out. You're trying to go over the scheme a little more. Like, you don't really have time to get up and watch the offense work, all right? It's as simple as that. Now, every once in a while, you can take a sneak peek at the scoreboard, and you can do that. But you're not going to get up and actually like, wow, I got to check this out. 2 guys I had to do that with, okay? The first guy on my list, Calvin Johnson. every single time that I came off the field in Detroit, and it could have been a 10-play series, it could have been a 3-play series, but I got my water, I got my critique, I got my notes, we went over the game plan some more, and then I got up and I actually watched Calvin Johnson, Brent, because it was that insane of just how talented and how much of a freak athlete that guy was. Keep in mind where I'm coming from, too. I'm coming from Jacksonville, man. Okay? I'm coming from Jacksonville where we didn't really have that. Yeah. Okay? We didn't have that guy. I mean, we had another guy we'll talk about in a little bit here, but we didn't have that receiver. Yes, we had Justin Blackman for a little bit, and it felt like just a blue moon. But
because he would have been 12, right?
Correct.
2012.
Yeah, so we had Justin Blackman for a little bit. But listen, even surpassing Justin Blackman by far is Calvin Johnson.
I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
And it's really one of the only guys I ever played with, because I played, keep in mind, the Bears, the Chiefs, the Lions, and the Jaguars. He's literally the only guy where everybody on defense would watch it. Oh no, Calvin's up one-on-one. It's going to Calvin. We all knew it was coming, man. And guess what? You knew it was coming, and the defense couldn't stop it. Yeah. So it was awesome. Oh, and spoiler alert too, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet.
That's cool. I like that part.
And I've told this story before. When I first got to Detroit, he was the guy that was asking me, "Hey, where are you staying? Do you need a place to stay? Do you need cleats? I got you." It was just. It's insane that a guy that talented at that diva position of wide receiver was so cool, man. And I'll never forget that. So Calvin Johnson, number 1 on my list. Number 2, let's go back to Duval real quick. And the other guy that I always made a habit to watch, and it's another guy where I've said this quote about 5 or 6 times about this dude during my career here playing with him, where I was just like, that's not human. That's not human. I remember shouting, if you had me mic'd up, I kept on shouting, that's not even human. What is he doing? And Maurice Jones-Drew, okay? Because, once again, and I'm reminded of Tennessee for whatever reason, but there's a couple games where we played Tennessee where Maurice Jones-Drew
game.
Absolutely went off. And
that was an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's weird because I knew who Maurice Jones-Drew was, obviously, coming into the Jaguars. I mean, everybody knew who he was. He's a fantasy stud, obviously. The block on Sean Merriman. Maurice Jones-Drew, he had a rapport already to him. And then I knew it was to the nth degree when Jack Del Rio goes in training camp, hey, you don't touch him. Okay? Here I am going through 2-a-days, and it's real 2-a-days. We're doing goal line drills. If Maurice Jones-Drew is in the game, you don't touch him. You don't look at him. You don't cough on him. You just let him go.
Joe, I didn't know you should have had a red jersey on in practice.
No, to be fair, he earned that, though, right? Because he'll be the first one to tell you his first couple years wasn't like that. But I'm talking about when he was established and everything, you didn't touch Maurice Jones-Drew. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. The first couple weeks, I was like, why? It's my instinct as a defensive lineman. It's my instinct with Joe Cullen chewing me out every single play where I have to lay the lumber on somebody. And here's Maurice Jones-Drew. I'm in my hole. He's coming at me, and I have to just let him run by me? How is that football?
And you're trained that way for a quarterback, but not for a running back.
Not for a running back. Well, and I'll be honest, there's a couple Jamal Charles from Kansas City, same way, and very talented guy in his own right.
That's interesting. But that's when you know you've really made it, and you're very important to the team.
Exactly.
When the coaches say, "Yeah, don't touch him."
Exactly. But then all of a sudden, you see the first game of the season, man, and you see that dude work, and you see that dude hit the holes and come out the holes somehow and run people over. You get it. And it's like, I'll never touch you again. I'm not going to shake your hand, dude. I don't want to break your hand or anything. It's you. So Maurice Jones-Drew was the other guy that I can honestly say when I played with on offense where I'd have to watch him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think Mojo appreciate that being in that conversation. Calvin Johnson, Maurice Jones-Drew. Who else?
Well, another guy, too, as I said, running back was Jamal Charles, but he's an honorable mention because Jamal Charles was good in his own right, but didn't spend a lot of time with him. But he was a special player in his own right as well. So my third guy. This one was hard because I had to pick between 2 of them, defensive ends, outside linebackers, and I'm going Justin Houston, okay? Justin Houston, my time in Kansas City was short-lived, but Justin Houston, I'll be honest with you, didn't really know a lot about him because in Kansas City, it's all about Tamba Ali, who's another great pass rusher, obviously. But you talk about Justin Houston, who has almost 90 career sacks in 11 seasons. Justin Houston, man, my introduction to Justin Houston, didn't know who he was. The very first day we have our pads on, and then we're doing pass set, he gets 1 rep in. And the 1 rep was probably the greatest bull rush I've ever seen. And he puts the guy on his back. And coach goes, okay, you're done. And now I had to take Justin. And keep in mind, I'm playing a 3 technique and a 3-4 defense. Well, if Justin Houston's out of the one-on-one drills, I have to take his spot now. So I'm doing double duty. I'm doing 3 technique rushes, and I'm doing outside linebacker rushes because Justin Houston was done. I'm like, dude, that was 1 rush. What are we talking about? Well, then team period comes around, man. And you see why I only got 1 rep. You see why they're trying to take care of him. Because this guy, Brent, I played with a lot of strong cats in my lifetime, okay? I played with Stephen Paya, defensive tackle, bench press, set the combine bench press record at like 45 or something like that. Insane, dude. Absolutely insane. But I'm talking about football strength. Nobody even comes close to Justin Houston.
Just throwing people out of the way.
It is absolutely insane. And if you look at him, you understand why. Because he's got biceps like Tyson Alualu's calves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that legit. And then listen, and he's still got it. And I remember talking about him on the show a little bit when the Colts drafted him. You know, because there was some debate. Oh, Justin Houston, he's up there in age. He's going on his 12th year now. Should the Colts have got him? And I remember I said this, and I still stick by this. In the NFL, when you're a vet like that, you're going into your 10th or even like your 6th, 7th year, the first thing to go is your speed, right? You always see it. Wide receivers lose their speed. Yeah. Your running backs lose a step. Everyone loses a step. But the last thing to go, you know what your last thing to go is?
Strength.
The power. Exactly.
Man strength.
And Justin Houston has always relied on his power more than his speed. Now, he's still got speed, obviously. You have to have the get off to be a good pass rusher, but Justin Houston always had the power. So that's why he's still in the league. That's why in his 11th season, he had, I think, 10 sacks last year for the Colts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picked him up in free agency.
Justin Houston.
By the way, I can relate. Man strength at 43 is as high as it's ever been.
I'm glad to hear it, dude. Brett Marno can relate. I love it, man. Absolutely.
So you have two more.
Especially in the golf course. I got two more, man. Once again, hard call with this one, right? Because do I go Puz or do I go Daryl Smith? Because
you can't have both.
I'm not going to have both here because the last guy is the wild card, but I have to give him the props for it's due. We'll get to him in a second. I think, in terms of what he was able to do and just the leadership role that he took on, I have to go with Puz. Now,
That's
it's funny,
interesting.
though.
I'm waiting for what's he going to say?
I know. I have
you
to
love
go
them
with
both.
Puz. I respect them both. And you know what? Honestly, it should be both of them. I think Daryl Smith, from the talent standpoint, maybe even more talented than Puz. But what set Puz over the edge for me, and keep in mind, I spent a lot more time with Daryl Smith than I did with Puz. But Puz, it was everything, man. Okay? It was the leadership on the field. It was the tenacity. It was being a constant professional. And I've always told a story about Puz. I was training at Gold's Gym down at the beach, and Puz just had his pectoral surgery. I kid you not. A week after his pectoral surgery, he's in that Gold's Gym bench pressing with one arm, and he's doing like 135 pounds with one arm because he has to. That's just the way it was. So Puz, to me, is number 4. And Daryl Smith, obviously, you're up there too, man. Last guy. Can you guess who it is?
No.
Okay.
You going to go Detroit? Oh, I'm going to guess, could I guess Rasheen?
Rasheen's up there, but no. So I'll give you about this guy. This last guy, when I met him, I thought he wasn't going to be anything. And now he's on my top 5. When I first got introduced to this guy, I said, there's no way this guy's going to do anything in the NFL. True story.
I don't know.
Okay. Travis Kelce.
Kelce.
Yeah. So Travis Kelce, listen. It's funny because obviously we talked about the Super Bowl, and I gave him the whole Applebee's card, and that was fantastic and everything. But I'll never forget one of my very first introductions to Travis Kelce. Keep in mind, I'm playing defense. He's on offense. Only thing I knew about Travis Kelce going into the season was that he was, I think, like a 3rd-round draft pick, played quarterback at Cincinnati, now playing tight end. That's all I knew. Heard he's a pretty good athlete. Didn't know much about him. My introduction to Travis Kelce was when the 2s were in, and I was in on the 2s, and I think he was in on the 2s as well, because I think they had Anthony Fasano at the time as a starting tight end. Keep in mind, Travis Kelce was a rookie my year. So we're going against the 2s, and it's like the first, live team period. Travis Kelce catches a touchdown in the middle of the field and proceeds to punt the ball into the stands, and all of a sudden practice was just canceled. He literally, his first touchdown of his career in practice, punts the ball, starts flexing on everybody. He's like, woo, game over. And like that. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? You're a rookie. Rookies don't do that. So I was ticked because Andy Reid's kind of chewing him out a little bit. The whole team's just why did you just punt the football into the stands? Granted, yeah, we had a lot of footballs, man. But you got to keep in mind where I'm coming from, man. It's a term of disrespect, all right? And I've gotten in fights for a lot less than punting a ball in the stands. So, immediately I was like, all right, Travis Kelce, I have to fight you now, eventually. But it ended up being, man, he was really cool. He was definitely the wild card of the group. And I'll be honest, man, his first year, he was still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I think he had a good, productive first year, and you could see the talent was there. But obviously, when the maturity started coming around, that's when he really started to shine. And now he's a team captain, man. So, like, it's just crazy going from the guy where his first reception punts the ball into the crowd and ticks everybody off to now the guy who's a Super Bowl champion, leading the team on the field and everything like that. The journey of Travis Kelce, man, and the maturity of Travis Kelce, it's one of the greatest stories of football history, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah. Austin Lane's top 5 teammates: Calvin Johnson, Maurice Jones-Drew, Justin Houston, Paul Posluszny, and Travis Kelce. That's a heck of a list. Awesome. Really good stuff. And I don't know if I would have guessed those 5 for you. I probably could have got a couple, but I don't think I would have guessed all 5 of those. You know, we have a question out there today. What have you picked up in the pandemic? We said, hey, listen, I'm cooking steaks more than I've ever cooked before. Not just steaks. I use the air fryer as well. I'm walking like 10 miles a day. You tried to plank for 5 minutes. Yeah. Tried to beat the 5.5 miles in under an hour.
Correct.
You know, so we did some of these.
Those peanut butter cups, Brent. Don't forget about the peanut butter cups.
2 peanut butter cups with jelly in between.
Grape jelly in between.
Still suspicious about that one.
I feel like this next guest could put that to work in his line of work. We'll see what he can do. And this is the first time meeting Ben Brainerd. He's a comedian from Orlando. But when we thought of this topic, I thought of him because, well, he's really taken off during the pandemic because of a couple of skits that he's done having to do with states. He's actually got a little Duval and a little Minshew mixed in there at times, well, even though he's from the Orlando area. Let's welcome Ben Brainerd into the show. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. What have you picked up during the pandemic is the topic. Well, like I said, man, you picked up a lot of followers on Instagram, on TikTok. It's been a pretty good few months for you.
Yeah, I like to tell people that I got lucky, which I think is fully the truth. I definitely worked hard to get there, but, man, it's mostly just luck that I even got this far at all.
Ben Brainerd with us. You're an Orlando guy originally?
I was actually raised in Daytona Beach, Florida until I was about 20, and then I moved to Orlando 4 years ago.
Okay, and obviously doing some stand-up work. And where did you come up with the idea about the states? And how were you surprised it took off the way it did with you pretending to be Florida and Arkansas and Wisconsin, Louisiana, and all these places.
Yeah. Louisiana, the Cajun accent. Yeah. I'll start with the second question there. I was very surprised that it took off. I had no expectation. I thought it would be good. I thought it would be funny. I thought people would like it. But to get to the point that it is, I have 800,000 followers, I think, across all platforms, which is insane. Just in the past, 2.5-3 months.
Can you retweet our show right now, please?
Good call, Brett.
Yeah, I actually put the link out on Facebook, so you guys will probably get a small bump.
There we go, man. Appreciation. So, go ahead.
So, well, carry on about the states, though. Where did it come from?
Well, I was actually in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta. I was about an hour outside of Atlanta. I was on my way to a tour. I was going from Atlanta to Nashville to Kansas City to Wichita, Little Rock, Memphis, and back to Florida. And I was touring stand-up comedy. And I got on the way to Atlanta, I got an email saying that all of my shows for the next 2 weeks were canceled due to the virus. So I stopped at a parking lot in Georgia, and I ate my feelings, and I drove back to Florida. And I decided that I was going to put out a video every single day during quarantine just to keep, my mind sharp and just to keep my current fan base, active and making sure that they know I'm still around. And if you go back far enough, you'll see videos that have nothing to do with the states or coronavirus. It was literally just anything that I thought of, and I thought I could make it funny. I would just go. And one day I saw something along the lines of that made me think, wow, Florida really doesn't care about the virus at all. And I looked around to see how other states were handling it. It was very obvious that Florida was like, this isn't real. So I immediately made the character of Florida where he just doesn't care about anything. All he wants is chaos. And it started from there, and that one video took off, and I was like, all right, this is it.
Ben Brainerd with us here at Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Austin's got some questions for you, but before we get to those questions,
wish I could ask them.
Coos, play a little bit of the bit, what you have loaded up there, just so we can get a taste of what Ben does.
Florida, can you call Louisiana?
Who that? Who that? Who that say they're going to beat them Saints? Tampa say they're going to beat them Saints. You ever actually watch a Buck game? Not sober, no. Days. How's your mom? Oh, Louie, you know. They're inside. Louisiana, where's your shirt? What kind of question is that?
I felt like that was a pretty easy one, actually.
Man, I ain't won one of them since LSU won the national title. Go Tigers. That Joe Burrow's something special, ain't he? I mean, he's no Gardner Minshew, but...
When you can work a little Gardner in there, that gets you here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. By the way, went from 2,000 Instagram followers pre-pandemic to 72,000 plus, and I think like over 600,000 TikTok hits per episode. I told you, man, we need to be on TikTok. We got to get on TikTok.
Well, that's your job because I don't have Instagram yet. So that's
you're not even cool enough to be on the gram.
Easy. Don't call it the gram, though, right? Don't call it the gram. All right. And so Ben, what's up, man? So, hey, listen, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of what you do. Obviously, the first video that I was acquainted with was that video that we just shared and everything. And I'm also a huge fan now, having been born in Chicago. Chef's kiss goes out to the Illinois, joins the table. Fantastic job. My first question to you is, when you first made that video that kind of got you so famous, was there one state that you were contemplating but you knew it wasn't ready due to the accent or the style?
Not really. Right now, I'm kind of iffy on like Hawaii because I'm not sure if I should be allowed to do the natural Hawaiian accent, considering it's not just a straight white dude that's doing it. But the Louisiana one, I actually practiced that Cajun accent for probably like 10 hours before I felt comfortable doing it on camera. And all I did was watch Coach Ed Orgeron videos over and over and over again until I was like, yeah, I got it.
That's great, man. And by the way, good job. That's where you go. If you want to learn Louisiana, go to Eddie O.
Ben, so you're a self-appointed, we call you a Florida man, right? And you spent a lot of time in the great state of Florida. We always hear the term Florida man. All these Florida guys do these crazy things. They get on the national news, and it's insane. My question to you is, you've traveled around Florida. I'm sure you've done shows in Florida. You spent some time in Daytona. Where is Florida man? I'm talking about, the prototypical Florida man. Where would he be from in the state of Florida? Because I say Daytona Beach.
Oh, I mean, that's a really good question. My first thought, of course, is Daytona Beach because it's insane. But I think Polk County.
Polk
County.
Why?
Polk County, because Polk County is, I believe in 2011 it was on the FBI's list as the most meth per capita in America.
Okay, off to a good start.
All there really is in Polk County is meth and orange groves and Sheriff Grady Judd.
Sold.
There's a couple of good golf courses.
Place of Florida, man. I mean, do you think they have a sign when you go and they have golf courses? A couple
good golf courses.
It's Florida, Brent. Everyone's got golf courses. Come on now.
Ben Brainerd with us here at Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. He's a stand-up comedian, and his career, if you will, I think has really taken off. I mean, where was it headed before the pandemic? I mean, were you rocking and rolling? Were you starting to build a base?
I was starting to, but it was a slow build. There's like a general timeline in comedy. There's more of a bell curve of it with stand-up comedy, where you don't start getting your first paid hosting gigs until you've done about a year, and then you start featuring, doing your 30-minute spots after 5 years. After 3 years, and then you don't start headlining until 7 years in.
Wow.
So I've only been doing it for just over 3 years. I'd been a little bit ahead of the curve as far as featuring goes, but I had just started to get into, at the beginning of this year, I had just started to get into the point where I was booked at least somewhere every weekend. Wow, cool. It was barely enough to get by. I had to supplement with like Uber and Lyft and some other odd jobs here and there. But it was slowly but surely building. And then this happened, and I haven't had the opportunity to start building my stand-up comedy again yet, just because most places aren't open. but I'm sure I'll be able to parlay this into a much more successful career from where I left off previously.
Yeah, Ben Brainerd with us, stand-up comedian, and I be honest with you, man, I'm not funny at all. I also don't understand the business that great, but this makes me curious. Okay, so as a very casual outsider, you stand up comedy, you get it. It's on Friday nights or Saturday, or whatever, at a place, at an establishment. I understand. But the way this is taken off, I mean, are we seeing comedy? Are we seeing guys like you, people like you, being able to take off on Instagram, on TikTok, on other places? I mean, can you make a living doing it on the social media?
Yes, actually, you can. I've made a Patreon, which is basically, if you don't know, it's like a social media platform where people can subscribe to your channel for a monthly fee that they decide. And depending on how much they pay every month, I put out exclusive content that only they can get. On Facebook and YouTube, you have the opportunity to monetize your videos with advertisements. And then I also have an online store where I sell merch based off of some of the characters and some of the things that they say during the videos. So all of that put together, I've actually gotten to the point where I don't need to go look for another job after this.
That's very cool. Hey, well, pump it up, man. Where's the online store and the merchandise and all that?
Yeah, you can actually just go to benbrainerd.com/store, and it's spelled Ben Brain ARD.
Very good.
Cool. It's good to know it's called Patreon. I used to call it Patron, and because I used to watch this wrestling show that had Patron, but it's actually Patreon. So good to know from Ben. Thank you for clarifying that. Ben, the cool thing with stand-up comedy, man, is that anybody can do it, right? Any shape, any size, any color, anybody can get up there, say their piece, and be funny. To me, when I watch you do your thing, man, you remind me of a guy who I'm a really big fan of named Fred Armisen. You know who he is?
I do, yeah.
Fred,
He did the special comedy for drummers.
Exactly, yeah, man. Like I kind of get the Fred Armisen vibes a little bit from you. But who are some of your comedy heroes? Like I get maybe you don't model yourself after these guys, but who are some of the guys you look up to?
I have a few. Definitely John Mulaney is the biggest one right now. I think I model my stuff after him the most. I think some of that's on accident. I think we just sound alike naturally.
Yeah.
But I like his stuff a lot, so I feel like I start leaning towards more of his style.
Cool.
But I also have Mitch Hedberg is up there. Stephen Wright at the very beginning of my career, I was very one-liney and very dry, and Stephen Wright was really big. It was really big motivation for me. And then I try to watch as much as possible. You know, there's a lot of guys that people don't know about, like James Acaster, Daniel Sloss. They have specials on Netflix, but nobody seems to really know about them, and I love those guys.
That's pretty cool. Ben Brainerd with us, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Really as kind of hitting it big in the pandemic, during this pandemic the last few months. How did the videos do with Minshew and Duval mentioned?
Those are actually, I think, the Louisiana one where I mentioned Minshew, that is my most popular video. And then the Duval one is either second or third.
There we go. Not a bad drop. See, that's pretty good. Very good. Now, okay, last one for you. Then we'll let you run, man. Can you keep this up with the states? I mean, is this material that will stick? Does it run out? How does that work in your business?
I think I can keep it going for a while. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep it forever, but I can definitely keep it going for a while. After coronavirus is gone, I plan on just doing like weekly news recaps because every state always has some sort of crazy stuff happen every week, especially Florida. So if I can get like the craziest states to come together every week and just talk about the dumb things that they did that week, I think that could be an easy stream of constant and original and just new stuff that keeps people laughing.
Timing is crazy, isn't it? I mean, think about the pandemic. It's actually helped you. Also, the arrival of TikTok and the boom of TikTok has certainly helped. I mean, you're on all these different platforms. Is TikTok like the most popular?
By far. I mean, TikTok, I just looked. I just passed 650,000 followers on TikTok. And that's first place across all the platforms. Number two is Instagram at like 72,000.
Wow.
So there's like a 500,000 plus drop off between TikTok and any other platform.
How about, dude? I'm signing up for TikTok right after this interview.
Yeah, but can I sign up? Because I can dance, though.
Brent, your first video has to be you doing the Renegade. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think we have something
I don't even know if you know what I just said.
I just break down the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I just dance the whole time. Like Gardner Minshew might have a good season this year, and I'm dancing the entire time.
That's perfect.
We got it.
I mean, listen. For 650,000 followers, I'll do anything.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's go. Cam Soda as well. Let's get a Cam Soda account. Let's get everything.
Ben, Brandon, Red, thanks for taking some time out of Orlando. Look them up on all the different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Good luck, man. That's very cool stuff that you've been able to take off in the last few months.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, man. Hey, so I got an idea, Brent. And, we've been trying to find something that you can do because we've been kind of going back and forth. I climbed a mountain. You were jealous. You haven't climbed a mountain yet. I have finally found something for you to do that would be super impressive. It would be a challenge. And I think if you do it, you come out the other side, you'll be feeling great.
Do I have to check with my bosses?
No. Dude, you do a 5-minute stand-up comedy routine at an open mic night.
I'd be awful.
Exactly. So work at it and get good.
I'd rather do a TikTok dance.
No, man, I'm telling you. Kuz, are you in for this?
Do I have to do a stand-up?
No, I'm saying Brent does. I mean, I'll do it with you. I'll try it, too. I don't want to do it either. Let's do it, man.
Just make a bunch of Jags jokes. You'll be a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of material.
Yeah.
Plenty of
I say you do it, man.
I'm more concerned about TikTok right now.
Okay.
Kuz, can we make it big on TikTok? I mean, do we have to really look into this?
I mean, I guess. Is someone else going to do it?
I'm telling you.
Kuz doesn't want to suggest it because then he's like, another
if
thing I got to do.
If I'm the one that suggests it to anybody other than you two, I have to do the work.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think we have something here where Brent just gives like Jaguar stats and he breaks down the games and I'll just dance in the background the whole time.
Just think how your dance, see your uniform unveil went very well.
Yeah,
how would it have done on TikTok?
Oh,
it would have done well.
It would have done fantastic.
Let's reboot it.
Well,
it's all in the
depressed.
hashtags.
All right. I know.
Now I'm just bummed.
Some of your responses coming up about your what you picked up on the pandemic. I don't think it was as many followers as Ben Brainerd. It's next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy down to 68 tonight, and partly sunny, hot and humid tomorrow. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms with your Friday high near 90. And Saturday will be partly sunny, widely scattered later in the day. Showers and thunderstorms with highs around 90. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center. Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get into Arlington today where you can drive away in a new Toyota Corolla for $199 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. That's a pre-owned Corolla for $199 down with 0 down or no payments until 2021. How about a Toyota Camry for $249 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021? That's a pre-owned Camry for $249 a month with nothing down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota /June offers for full details.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity Band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Off Town Center Parkway.
For the ones we trust to always be there.
For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Been dreaming of Subway tile and butcher block counters? Outdoor kitchens and pavers?
Oh, honey.
The weather's great and it's time to knock out those nagging home projects with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Borrow up to 90% loan to value and pay no closing costs. Best of all, we'll give you a free wheelbarrow. That's right, a free wheelbarrow. Apply today at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Just please, no more shiplap.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Okay, boss, here's the house. Been watching it all week.
And you're sure it only has a big blue alarm system?
Yep. That means we should have all the time we need.
Yeah, still can't believe Big Blue Alarm is allowing their employees to monitor alarm systems while they're working from home.
Yeah, let's see, how many times do I get distracted when I'm at my house?
Right? Well, let's just hope the Big Blue operator monitoring this house just started binge-watching a TV show.
Meanwhile, right across the street, Safe Touch is still as steady as can be with the fastest guaranteed response time anywhere.
And that is why we're standing on the outside of the house with the Big Blue Alarm.
Just following the Crooks of Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. All right, let's get busy.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota /June offers for full details.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Get ready for a riveting, action-packed thriller. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere, not knowing how they got there or why they've been chosen. They soon learn it's for one very specific purpose: the hunt. Can Crystal, played by Betty Gilpin, turn the tables on Athena, played by Hilary Swank, and her group of hunters? Don't miss The Hunt, along with other summer blockbusters. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Reliant Roofing, Solar, and Hurricane Shutters is pleased to announce its 4th annual Every Shingle Heart Initiative. This year, they will give a free roof to one healthcare worker or first responder in Northeast Florida. The individuals who've been making the ultimate sacrifice over the last several months during the COVID-19 pandemic. Reliant wants to return the favor to someone in these fields. To nominate someone, you can visit their website, reliantroofing.com/Every Shingle Heart. Nominations will open June 15th until July 31st. The recipient chosen will be announced on August 15th, 2020.
If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, but your boss has you working from home this week, well, take us with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Tell Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy all that sweet listening coverage.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I think you've got to be flexible and adaptable, as I said before, and Josh has to be as well. He's got to know, and he will. He's got to know where his options are and how quickly he needs to go there, because there's meat on the bone. There's yards to be gained with those checkdowns. Certainly, you don't want to be, to his point, captain checkdown. I understand that, and so that's also where you can open up the defense a little bit with Diggs and with Smoke and Cole and whatnot. So. I think having different options at Josh's fingertips will be good, because sometimes that does open up the check down for you if you're working the perimeter just as well. So it's a good. I think the balance is important.
Who's let us off the hook?
Got any more brain busters?
Now listen, I had that, I think, before he even said Diggs.
Oh, I
but
did
Diggs
too.
then gave us probably too much info.
Well, Josh.
As soon as he said Josh, I'm thinking McDermott.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
It's interesting he mentions Captain Checkdown.
Yeah.
Because isn't that Trent Edwards?
Yep.
People called him Captain Checkdown. He played for Buffalo.
Hey, listen, I like Trent Edwards a lot. Maybe it was an unfair kind of title, but yes, he called him Captain Checkdown.
I remember that. Like, it wasn't a story that you...
Yeah.
He didn't love it. Wasn't like compliment. It was a tough one to bring up. It's like he didn't necessarily embrace Captain Checkdown. It's like game manager.
Well, would you?
No, I'm just saying.
To me, Captain Checkdown's even worse. Because a game manager, it's like, okay, maybe you're smart. You don't turn the ball over. Captain Checkdown is like you take the easiest thing over and over again. What an insult. What is Trent Edwards doing here? Let's Google him real quick. Good-looking dude, Brent. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, like, this wasn't me talking. This is like the entire locker room. Like, yeah, it's a good-looking dude. Because he had that Bieber hair. You remember, dude? He had that Bieber hair. Yeah. Trent Edwards, man. What's he doing? I don't know.
You're not sure? What was the last year in the league? Would have been like 13? A guy like Trent Edwards, you think would stay in the league forever.
I know. Last year would have been 2012 in Philadelphia.
Wow.
So,
and he's only what?
Right after
what's he now? Maybe 38? What's Wikipedia say?
We got 36.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
A guy like that you thought would stay around for a long time.
I know.
As a backup.
When I told you, man, we all had his back because that one where it was like a 3rd down and 10 and he took off and ran with it and then like got absolutely depleted, got the first down. Ever since we saw that, we roll with him. And then unfortunately, like the next game later, he got hurt again. So it was over. But yeah, interesting cat.
No doubt about it. All right. We have asked, what did you pick up in the pandemic? And I haven't really shared some of your responses. So let me get to that before I forget. Marty Smith says cooking, eating what I cook, Zooming, walking, yard work,
good,
drive-line baseball, plus videos, a couple really good books, and watching my dog sleep way too much. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's been a lot. Let's see if I can get down through some of the mud of Twitter. There's some mud. Katie says, keto, 25 pounds since February. Congratulations.
Dang, Katie.
Awesome.
Wow. Ketogenic stuff works, I guess.
Debbie Kemper,
what's up,
drinking.
Yep.
First Coast Bubbler says, I've picked up more work.
What does he do? Do you know?
Wasn't very specific.
It could be a lot of things.
Considering his bio under his Twitter says 5th place in fantasy football, I don't know what he does.
It's not much to brag about, though, is it?
Nate Stradamus says 10 pounds.
Nice.
I wonder how many people I wonder the overall like gain or loss, because again, if you're like, I added it up today.
Yeah.
Since the COVID-19 hit, since the pandemic, I have walked over 750 miles according to my phone. 750 miles.
What are you averaging per day? What would that be?
I mean, we average, I would say, between 8 and 10 miles a day.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of walks.
Yeah.
Now, you can do a lot on walks. You can.
Well, let me ask you, what do you do on walks?
I don't know what to say to Steph anymore. I told you that weeks ago. So you can only imagine what now.
You guys hold hands?
No.
I don't know. You guys have been married for how long? I don't know if you guys hold hands. I don't hold hands.
First of all, I'm a much faster walker than Steph, so that would be problematic.
Well, someone's a Hall of Famer and someone's not, so don't forget that either.
But here's the opposite of that, though, because Nicole used to walk golf like all the time. She is so much faster than I am.
Really?
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Steph looks at her phone, right? And she falls 5 steps behind.
Yeah.
Like, it's like slows her down. It's like she can't forget about driving and texting. She can't walk and text.
Shots fired.
She can't. Like she fall. I'm like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
See, I'm with Steph in that. What's the rush?
So like, do you guys just like look at? Like, what do you do? You just look around?
I mean,
just
we
wave
talk
hi to the neighbors and stuff
about all the kids' problems.
Cool.
Work a little bit. She doesn't want to hear anything, but at least I talk and I can make pretend I'm talking to somebody about the work stuff.
Yeah, talk through it.
Once in a while, we'll listen back to the show. Play music all the time.
Sweet.
The whole time. But once in a while, we even listen back to a show or a segment or something, do a little critiquing.
I got you.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, we really don't. Like, I flat out told her yesterday because she wanted to get extra walking in because she couldn't walk at night. So usually it might be an early, like kind of earlier morning, not early, but early. And then mid-afternoon before I come to the radio. And then maybe between the shows that I do for TV. Well, she couldn't do that one. So she's like, hey, we got to take another loop, at least like a small loop. We have a small loop and a big loop. And I said, that's fine, but I've used everything I had to talk about. Like, I flat out said that to her.
You might have something right there, man. Start interviewing Jaguars players on walks. Just go for a walk around your neighborhood and be like, hey, this is the Brent Martineau Walking Podcast.
I have been on a Zoom call with Marone around like draft time on the walk. Listen to the whole thing. That killed an hour.
Yeah.
Of that was entertaining. Didn't have to talk to Steph.
Did you ever see that giant hype train that they used to have where people could actually they get paid to walk with people? Like, yeah, there's like an app. Because you heard this? So there's an app where you can hire somebody to come walk with you, just as a friend, but they walk with you.
Wasn't there a place that just opened, like you go to like
Dude, that's
cuddle
a real thing.
someone?
And yeah,
really,
cuddling's real too. Yeah, and you make bank off it. I thought about doing it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
or I'm gonna ask Steph to do it. I don't know if I want to do it, but
it's essentially a Cameo, but for walking.
I know. The Cameo's come back to life, hasn't it?
Well, now it's doing like I saw you can do like. Instead of just like a minute-long thing, you can actually sign up for like a 10-minute chat.
I saw like Tracy Wolfson pushed it out there today. She's like, hey, if you're looking for something for Father's Day, check this out on Cameo. Like CBS sideline reporter Tracy Wolfson.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, it sounds so odd.
To me, I looked at it and I went, all right, what athletes are on there now? I'll go see if Nick will give me a budget to get people to come on the show.
I know. Can you do a whole interview? You're right.
Yeah, 10
we don't
minutes,
even have to
enough.
request the guest. We just pay for it.
Sorry, I'm looking at these walkers right now.
That's a good idea, Kuz. We're paying for an interview
like
on Cameo.
If Michael Jordan's on there, let's bring him on the show for 10 minutes.
That is a good idea. By the way, Anthony says Call of Duty Warzone, baking.
My man.
Well, those are two different things. New love for computer science, taking my CS K through 12 certification in August. Good luck, I think. I don't know exactly what that means, but do well as well. I've picked up a lot of food and beer, says Big Cat.
I like it.
Is that all I have? It might be all. It's way down there, so I don't know if I have anything else right now. But so there you go. What have you picked up in the pandemic?
Brent, what'd you pick up besides walking?
I'm not going to read this one. I expected more of these kind of comments, but I'm not going to read this.
Is it Jaguars related?
No.
Okay. I thought someone would throw one of those in there. What else did you do, Brent? I mean, you got the steaks, you got the walking.
No, seriously, I think I've read a little bit more. I don't read a lot, but I've read more. Like I dove into a couple of books I haven't finished, but also feel like I'm reading more articles and sit out by the fire a lot more.
Sure. I mean, it's not like it's 90 degrees outside.
Definitely drink way more than I usually would drink. Yeah, like not
just casual.
Yeah, but like definitely more consumption than in the past.
Okay. I mean,
which I'm concerned for people about that one.
Are we doing brewskis? We doing mixed drinks, cocktails?
No, I'm not a mixed drink. That sounds too much work. I'm just drinking.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But seriously, I would say cooking in our house, like Steph and I don't cook. We don't cook. We are going out to eat people. And so we really just don't. But we cook a lot. Like we have done more dishes in the last couple of months. So I think that would probably take the cake.
So here's the website, peoplewalker.com. And you can actually hire people to walk with you. Now, I'm not sure if it's in Jacksonville yet, but it's a real thing.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, check it out, man.
Peoplewalker.com.
Yeah.
We're getting to sponsor the show.
What was I doing Uber for? I can just walk with people. I have to drive them around from the bars and everything. Smell like cigarette smoke. Come on.
Here's the thing, though. If you're driving them around, you can let them off. Like, you can drop them off.
Hey,
if you're walking with somebody, what do you do?
Away. Brent, I run a 4.8. Try to keep up. Good luck to you, everybody. Yeah.
That would be something if you just walked away from it.
For sure.
So, anyway, if you haven't picked up anything in the pandemic, you have time, it looks like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We started the show with a little football talk, and Dr. Fauci kind of says, hey, football might need to be in a bubble. We'll see if that happens. Major League Baseball, there's nothing super new on that front other than back and forth they go in the public eye once again. NBA's been very quiet, although I did just click on this. I saw this pass through. Here's the smart ring NBA players will wear.
Oh, yeah, picture?
And there is a picture of it. Man, that looks like something out of Terminator.
So it is a ring.
It's an actual ring. I thought it was a bracelet.
Yeah. Whoa.
So the Aura O-U-R-A smart ring is capable of predicting COVID-19 symptoms up to 3 days in advance with 90% accuracy. The ring can measure body temperature, respiratory functions, and heart rate. Can you just buy it, or does it just special to the NBA?
See, I'm
confused.
confused.
It looks like online, like $300.
$300?
Oh, hey. Brent's taking 5 of them.
Get me in that stock.
Get him in the stock? Cruz, you know who makes it? I'll get you in there.
Aura. O-U-R-A.
Is it publicly traded?
O-U-R-A, yeah.
Are we allowed to give stock tips here on the show? Just did.
We're getting shut down by FCC.
I don't know either.
I know. I mean,
we are not licensed to do so.
No. But if you want to,
what did they comment below? This was for entertainment purposes only. We are not.
We are going to see how this. I'm buying in right now, but with fake Monopoly money.
Listen, and I don't want to be that guy because this is way out of my pay grade here and way out of my intelligence grade. But why wouldn't you make the bracelet instead of the ring? I feel like playing with a ring in basketball is a lot harder to play than a bracelet.
I would imagine they'll take it off for the game.
Well,
but even
probably.
for practice, though, you know.
Well,
what
I would
saying?
say with the bracelet, there's more chance for things to get stuck, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I thought with ring, it's more open.
Oh.
The dribbling.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, dribbling.
Well, we've had a lot of ring conversation this week here on the show.
You tell him it's making me nauseous.
I don't know what you're going to talk about tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing, Brett. You're going to be gone for the next a while, let's just say.
Yeah.
Hair's looking good. I can't wait to see your hair when you come back. That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This is where, by the way, the whole wrestling into the radio show skit happens.
Yeah.
You're taking over the show for the next few days.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's going to look like when I get back?
Oh, man.
Like in a couple weeks.
Oh, man. I mean, you give me the keys to the car may be gone. Let's just say that.
We're going to do a little bit of a best of next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some of the interviews. We have kind of like a Jags 2020 show lined up. Austin's got it the next few days, and then we'll even go to the national guys during the 4th of July week. And so we'll be a little bit in and out for the next couple of weeks. But you can't be in and out. You got to stay on. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Let's get weird together, and hopefully we won't get shut down. No promises. I'll be honest with you.
And make sure you watch CBS 47 and Fox 30 as well. Happy Father's Day early.
Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day, man.
Thanks.
Maybe I'll have my dad calling tomorrow.
Doesn't Cruz look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
He does. Yeah, let's go and get that hat on, huh? Woo!
Hey, wait, well, you wouldn't know this, but when you wear a hat for a while, your hair starts to hurt.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, Brent Martineau's doing 5 minutes of stand-up comedy at some open mic because he's a funny guy. Don't let him tell you differently.
Yeah, I'm hilarious.
That's your challenge.
We'll see you back here tomorrow, or at least one of us will, on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Land of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
People used to tell me all the time that I sound shorter than I am.
Your voice is like a little higher pitch, so like
probably.
So you think of like Lollipop Guild from Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah. People are like, when you talk, I think you're walking down the yellow brick road, but when I see you,
yeah. Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN 690. Subscribe to our podcast.